Man, I feel like my energy just drained away in the last like 20 minutes.
Well, that's what,
You
what you
were
got
you were
coffee for.
amped. What got you so amped?
No, not amped. Just I was I've been running
What
around a lot.
what'd you do? What'd you do 20 minutes ago? Took a shit.
Nothing.
You looked at your phone. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
This is like the first time I've like sat down since I got home.
You ever do that shit where you wake up and you're like, oh, I gotta go do stuff. What if I just sit down for a second? I'm like, no, no, you can't sit down. Don't sit
Yes, I do
down.
that
Don't do it.
all the time.
I used to hear my mom say that growing up. And I'm like, you crazy woman. And now look at me. Now look at me.
Now you
It's late, hey
realize she
Dano.
was telling
Doing
the
What's
the
up, man?
truth.
same shit. Yeah. I've definitely, like,
Vixie?
years and years now, I've rejected, like,
Bog noise?
morning niceties to myself. I feel like, I've never been a snoozer, but you know how, like, I'm not gonna, like, turn on all the lights, or, like, I'm gonna be slow to get up, and I'm not, like, I'm gonna give myself
Uh-huh.
extra time in the morning. Like, no, man,
Uh-huh.
you're just wasting time. Just turn on that light and, like, stare right into it and say, fuck you. Because, I mean, it's gonna happen eventually anyways. I mean, who gives a shit?
Who gives a
You know what I
shit?
mean? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I've always been
Sure.
like my alarm's going off, and I've turned it off like 1 second after it started. Like, it hasn't even ramped up, and I'm like, it's already off. Like the opposite of snoozing.
Occasionally I've turned mine off minutes before it even goes off.
Well, yeah, but I
Same.
mean that's a different thing. I mean, I don't get enough sleep to be able to do that. But um, you know, just saying the whole, like, split second after it starts. I mean, maybe it's just been sleeping in the same bed with another person for such a long time that I don't want to disturb them, that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
you know,
Word.
Okay.
so I
Awesome
mean, I wouldn't
story.
say I'm a morning person, but you go to work and there's people like, oh, it's morning, I can't do it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I
Hmm.
realize there are I
Age
I
thing.
I think there's no such thing as morning people and night owls. I think there are just people who drink coffee and people who don't drink coffee.
No, no, it's not about coffee.
Dude, I was a night owl and I was a terrible morning person until I started drinking coffee, and now it is 100% flipped. I go to bed sometimes like at 9 o'clock so I can get up on a weekend at like 6 a.m. and play video games while I drink coffee. Like,
You're just changing the time that you do that time to yourself bullshit. That's all.
well, yeah, but I couldn't do it before. Like, the thought of getting out of bed before 10
Yeah, because you
a.m.
were
at one
staying
point.
up late, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no such thing. It's just when you choose to do certain things is what makes you who you are. But I feel like
A
coffee
lot
is a
of
lot of
mine
time the
is like
deciding factor.
motivated to, like, if I'm ever motivated to, like, get up extra early so I could play a little Monster Hunter, it's only because, like, maybe the kids would still be sleeping and my wife would still be sleeping, and I'm like, oh well, I'll just play some video games, right?
Fuck yeah.
But it's not.
Fuck
I
yeah.
would never, like, get up early for myself for no reason.
I do that. I will
But I
set
mean,
my
if you're
alarm for
going to
like,
bed early, it's just that's your wake up time.
but I'm going to bed early because I can't keep my eyes open anymore.
Oh, what? That's because you're getting up early. I mean, people get
we're
tired
going
based
in,
on how much they've been awake.
we're going in circles here,
I
but
know,
like the
but that's a normal sleep cycle. Yours is just shifted versus other
and
people's.
but it shifted when I started drinking coffee. Just saying. That's my personal experience. That's my personal
When did
anecdote.
you start drinking coffee?
About
What? So
four
what
or
was
5 years
probably
ago. Actually, it's probably a little longer than that now. Probably like 7 years ago.
Have you ever done like
you're
tea?
talking about like your mornings were a bunch of coffee or whatever. Are we waiting on Crispy at all, or are we just gonna go? Is he coming?
As far as I know, yes, he's coming.
Um,
I just messaged everybody in Discord that we're live, so he should know.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, should we start running some footage?
Let's
Sure.
do it.
just switch. Stuff.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that we're gonna talk about some of the stuff on the podcast, so you know.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, we'll be talking about it all year, but yeah. I mean, yeah.
True.
There's not going to be a shortage of conversation ever.
No. Can I just say how disappointed I am that they named it the Switch 2?
Yes,
But I get it. I get why. They had they had the
Can you get a little more
opportunity to
volume
do
on
like
Because
they had the opportunity to do like
out.
the coolest thing and call it like the Super Nintendo Switch.
Place your system however you like using the stand.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, we've had this conversation. They didn't.
Anywhere you go.
And it doesn't really matter.
With these
All
three
right.
play modes, you can enjoy playing.
I mean, actually, when you think about it, I think it's crazy because this is the first time Nintendo's ever really done this, right? Like just adding a number to the end of their console name.
But like, I mean,
yeah, but they've done like plenty of sequel systems. Like
no, they
literally
have. But like,
the
you
Nintendo
gotta
Entertainment
understand
System,
that
the
it's-
Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Man, the water physics look pretty good there. Some wave race shit. No, it's because the Wii U like almost killed them after like a literal phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like the Wii was
I mean, thank God the
game
Wii was
changing, and then the Wii U is one of the most embarrassing flops
Biggest-
ever. So like, yeah, whatever. This is just survival. Who cares?
No, I get it. I mean, that's why I say like I get it. It's not really a big deal. It's just like it's a little disappointing just because.
Also, they have a new like new homie in charge. You know, I mean, things. You know, yeah. I get it. It's not cute, but they're like, let's not be cute this time. Let's make sure we have a repeat of our past success and not a horrible, horrible flop that sold worse than the Vita.
Oh my God.
Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the
The new Fast game. What about it, Fatal Frame? There's been like a million of these fucking Wipeout clones over the years. Is this one any different? Is this just those same people that make those Wipeout clones for the Nintendo systems?
Playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally.
That is weird. It's the stick being in the middle is so weird.
Are now larger.
Yeah.
I'm not
They're
saying
only
I'm an
larger.
IP
They're-
horror or whatever, but like,
Each
just
Joy-Con 2
give me
controller
Wipeout or
can be
give me
used as a
F-Zero or
mouse,
something. Like,
opening up even more
I
ways to
just
play in compatible games. Both the left and
Who's
right
gonna play
Joy-Con 2
Metroid with
support
mouse and
mouse
keyboard?
controls, so
literally
you can
no
also
one.
play
What the
certain
fuck?
games using
Oh, there'll be
Who has a
like
table
this.
in front of them?
I do actually.
No, you don't. Not
lot
like
of
a
people have coffee
table that
tables,
is
Brad.
You're right.
wrist
You're right.
Adjusting
height.
the audio balance between
I
the
mean,
ranges.
in front of
Sounds
your
from the built-in
no.
speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop.
People also have
It's
desks.
because I believe in Japan, people sit in front of small tables on the floor. They sit on the floor in front of small tables. And I think it was designed with the Japanese living room in mind and not living rooms everywhere else where no one has a fucking table right in front of their fucking
I mean, that is
torso area on a couch.
I
No one
I
has
don't
that.
think that anybody's living room, anybody's living situation had anything to do with their decision to do mouse support. That decision came from the
disagree.
fact
I
they wanted to
disagree
add
completely.
in
I
PC game, more PC games to their console.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
But what does that have to do with anything?
How are they? How else
saying-
are
I'm
you gonna
saying-
get, like,
We're- It's not about software. I'm saying like, how did they even come up with this as a like idea for why someone would be in this position in the first place to have a hard flat surface in front of them? It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
It's handy for connecting a USB.
all right.
I
Now
mean,
this is something I'm
That is-
never gonna use ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's for we are old people. This is for young people.
yeah. This is
Oh,
not our generation.
God, that hurt my soul when you said that.
2 comes with 256
But I mean,
gigabytes
it
of
is.
internal storage. 8 times
Which
that
isn't
of
a lot.
Nintendo Switch.
I feel like
Storing
256
your
is
game
really not a
downloads,
lot, but
That-
it's
that's
expandable.
one Call of Duty.
Reading and writing data is also fast.
I mean,
hey, Crispy.
what do you think Activision Blizzard's thinking right now? What the
Use
fuck?
the
Are
Nintendo
we not on
to
the
dock,
Switch?
to connect to
Nintendo?
your TV and enable up to
Is that really how
4K
much
resolution
Call of Duty
100
is?
games.
Like the size, I
VR
mean?
is
More.
also supported in
Hey,
TV
but
mode.
It can
that
get
dock
bigger.
is $120 by itself.
I believe it.
Wild. This seems crazy though. Like, because it's not even,
Nintendo
there's no
Switch 2
hardware in
dock
there.
has
There's a
built-in
fan.
fan
And
that
I know when you
keeps
plug
your
it in, they're
system
probably just going to
This
overclock the
helps
Switch.
keep performance
But
stable.
they're saying certain games are going to run at 120 frames. They said Metroid Prime is going to
On
run
Nintendo
at
Switch 2,
60 frames per second.
4K 60.
games, as well as compatible
TV.
Nintendo Switch games.
I'll believe it when I see it, but hey.
4K 60.
And also
Like the menu?
up
What
to
are you
4K
talking
60.
Like the
about?
menu?
It just doesn't make sense, right? Like,
I mean,
I mean,
if you
it's
turn off
very
things
hard
like
to run
anti-aliasing
anything at
and you
4K
have like
60.
if you have like frame generation and you turn off some features, like yeah, you could achieve it.
You're
Even
also
then,
talking
that's
about
horseshit.
I mean, but you're also talking about games that just at their base level, and this is not trying to sound like a graphics snob or whatever, but like at their base level, they're just not as intensive as some of the games that you're seeing on like PS5 and Xbox and
Yeah.
PC or whatever. So like the baseline is already.
You say that, Nick, but like, how the fuck were the games running last generation on your Switch? How were they running? It doesn't
Not
matter
great.
that they're not like graphic, like they don't look like fucking Crysis. They still ran like shit. What I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense for a game to run on this hardware that high of a resolution at that frame rate.
I mean, if there is a
Like
big
Metroid
enough
Prime
difference,
does not look ugly.
if there is a big enough difference in the capabilities of the hardware, the internal hardware of the original Switch versus this Switch, then yeah, it would make sense. But I don't know. I mean, it really just kind of depends on how honest they're being. Are they being honest about the limitations that caused the Tears of the Kingdom to run at sub 30 frames per second? Or
Of course, fucking not. No.
It just doesn't make sense to me because, like, I mean, we've seen Metroid Prime. It's not an ugly game. We probably had been seeing Switch 1 footage, right? Because it's not like
Yeah.
we were seeing like 60 frames a second or anything. At least I don't think so.
I think this
So-
is really a situation where you're only going to notice the difference if you're looking at them side by side, probably.
I think they just wanted to make sure that Metroid Prime 4 ran really well on the base Switch, and therefore it's easier to like upscale that to a much more powerful hardware. I imagine. Because I mean, a lot of what you saw this generation of like games that could actually like run at like 120 on an Xbox or whatever, it's usually like the older stuff, right? That has like been upscaled for this generation because those games were just built for much weaker hardware. So, all right, Mario Kart. This is like
This is wild.
this
For
is a big
Mario
Mario Kart Paradise.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
yeah,
like
kinda.
Horizon, Mario Kart Horizon, right?
Yeah.
Is maybe
I mean,
the more the touchstone because Paradise you're still like very much limited to like roads and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I
Even
mean,
though-
there was a lot of the maps you could
Is-
actually that wasn't on the road that you could drive on.
Is this a
Sorta,
Switch
I
2 exclusive?
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's not going to be on. God.
This is their premier launch title, and I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
no,
I don't want to.
Oh,
I don't want to like jump the gun here, but like you're gonna have to get a Switch 2 anyways to play Bloodborne 2.
Oh God, guys, I have
Legally,
it
it
has
was
been
Bloodborne 2.
with jetpacks?
If only it was that.
crispy. Have you been paying attention, or
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Because my God, I have not been that disappointed.
What are you
Whatever.
talking about?
Shut up, Chris.
Oh my
Not even you.
God.
Not even you. You multiplayer loving
This is
slut.
this is
defend this.
indefensible.
Save it for the trailer. And or
We
the
already
podcast.
have Night Rain. Like, why disappoint us again?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm saving.
the worst part is that people were actually starting to think that they were looking at Bloodborne 2.
I mean,
TF210.
why would
even
they
thought
have?
it. I even thought it. I was like, "Holy shit! These crazy motherfuckers secured Bloodborne."
We should be
2.
talking about Mario Kart. So, like,
Yeah.
this is like a 95. So here's the thing, right? Mario Kart doesn't usually score that high, but it's also been the same basic bitch bullshit series this entire fucking time. And now they're finally doing something fresh and new. So I think it's gonna like,
Yeah, it's gonna pop off.
it's gonna like
It will.
pop off.
Unless
for
it
sure.
unless it runs like dog shit, it's gonna pop
But
off.
it's
There's no
not,
way it's gonna run
looking
like
at
that.
it. We're looking
It's a launch-
at it. It does
it's a
not
launch
run
title.
Like dog shit. Yeah.
It's a launch title. They wouldn't launch this thing if it ran like shit. Ran like
it would,
shit.
Mario Kart will never run like shit. It's,
No.
and we're looking
So
at it. It
sick.
doesn't run like shit.
More
It's
details
so
about this
sick.
title will be
Uh,
shared in an upcoming
The thing I want to see from this is whether there's a battle mode or
More
not.
information in the future.
I think there will be.
Yeah,
but
I
I'd
mean,
say
I
tune into
really
this.
hope, but
Tune into this direct on April 17th. to
Yo,
find
what if
out.
they have a crash mode? You see like Koopas go flying in slow mo from the.
What is racing but a battle of cars?
I want to show this high
Facts.
pass bullshit. It's $80 game. here.
this $80 game that
We'll talk about prices and stuff
Is
on
this
the
the game
show
that uses
because
the
obviously they
camera?
don't get into that during the direct.
an $80 war crime is what we're looking at.
Gameplay that uses a camera
Shut the
accessory,
fuck up.
all of which
Shut
can be
up.
accessed.
Well,
on
Mr.
Switch
I'm gonna
too.
buy a fucking $1,200 graphics
Let's
card
check
because
out
it just
3
feels
new and
right.
updated
Dude,
modes.
$80 video games that aren't
First
even
up
like
is Mario Party
that you
mode.
still have to download
With
once you put
single
the card
camera,
in.
up to 4
Yeah.
players can join the
Don't act
festivities.
like Nintendo fans are the suckers here, Mr. How much was your graphics card? How much was your computer? I mean, come on. Everything's expensive now.
Or
I mean,
4
fuck.
friends can take the party online.
Jeff Keighley was right.
Also, they announced all this shit before all the tariff stuff happened today.
Yeah.
like,
What
I'm-
if- Yeah.
I'm,
That locks
this
it in.
might-
That locks it in.
Does it?
See,
Does it
here's
lock
the thing,
it
Nick.
in?
Here's
No,
the
it
thing,
doesn't.
Nick. You're watching the fucking news, right?
No, I'm
Yeah,
trying.
you are,
not
because
to.
I don't know anything about tariffs.
Well, I'm not watching the news. You make it sound like I'm tuning into the news, and that's not what's happening.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not. You're listening to other
If
people.
something,
You're,
if
you're
something,
hearing it through other people's mouths, I guess.
yes,
But
secondhand news.
are you seeking out the secondhand news?
No, I'm actually desperately trying to avoid it,
Yeah, but it's hard to.
but it's hard. It's easier said than done.
I don't know. You work at a company that shouldn't they like you be able to tell them, hey, don't talk about that. We're working. Like,
Well, I don't talk about it with anybody at my job.
oh,
No,
what
be-
who are you hanging out with?
I'm not. It's not people I'm hanging out with, dude. I'm still on some social media.
I know it.
Nick works with old ladies.
I do work with old ladies.
So you get it's social media, dude. I'm telling. I promise. It's,
What are we talking
about? What the shit? Social media.
Listen.
you need to
Listen.
join a Dexter Discord and stay out of the politics channel, and that's you have all your needs.
He's in at
You
least
guys
5 Dexter
understand-
Discords.
You guys know that like rising video game prices are what's gonna finally kick off a revolution, right?
True, that's true.
Like if they keep getting more expensive, they're at $80 now. If they get to like pretty soon, if they're like, hey, buy the new Assassin's Creed, it's $100 for the base version.
Give me a musket.
200. Yeah, that's what's gonna end the American Empire. Like,
What's up with this? Is this like an initiative for like?
I don't know. Just want everybody to know. I posed the question in Discord today because this had me feel in a certain way, and I wasn't sure how I felt. Because I was like, part of me feels like maybe this might be offensive to
what?
handicapped
This
people, but I
this
don't
is
know.
representation. It's representation. This is
fucking
it's not offensive.
stupid.
No, but like,
It's so
but
fucking stupid.
what I
Oh
said.
my god.
no, listen. It's the fact that
people in wheelchairs.
no, that they're robots. Why don't just make them people?
Does it fucking
Well,
matter?
Nah,
Yes,
you know they're not
I think
people.
it does.
Like I
I
said
think it
during my
matters.
stream this morning, the only way this was going to be offensive is like if after the match they just like hopped up and started dancing around, then it's offensive. Then they cancel the game. It's,
You don't think like someone who likes video games and is a wheelchair basketball athlete would look at this and be like, "Oh, sick."
of course they would.
Like,
Of course they would. Dude. 100% Miyamoto watched Murderball, that documentary, and was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
we're doing it."
It's like, that's sick.
It's just a little weird. I mean, this is Nintendo developed.
Have
Like,
all
this-
the
what is this?
swearing.
Part of me wants to believe it. When
All
it was,
right,
like, the
let's
arms
all
team.
point and laugh at this, guys.
Let's actually skim
Elder Ring?
past this. Yeah, so like all of the games that are like third party developed that existed on other systems,
Yeah.
A
they
lot of
kind of
them
look
are.
like they're running like shit on this thing.
How could they not be?
This was a sweaty surprise. I was worried
Yeah.
that this was going to get a 2025 date. So Ed, here's the thing. Ed has Mario Kart, and that's a double points earner.
Yeah.
And we
Oh, I
need
thought
to
that was
hope
Chris
this doesn't-
Davis.
We need to hope that this doesn't come out.
We can sabotage.
Because then Ed'll be
Ed
It'll
would
be
have
a-
2 double points earners.
Yeah.
Nick, how
What?
much is 4 tickets to Japan?
I have no idea. Why are you asking me?
I think Nintendo's based in Kyoto or something. We're gonna sabotage. We're gonna sabotage Mario Kart.
Oh, okay. I'm in.
Well, we're kind of
Just for the
running out of
sake
time
of
to do
Fantasy
that.
Critic?
Yeah. We're going to Japan and burning down Nintendo headquarters. That'll tease you.
Also, is it not hilarious that they showed Hollow Knight Silksong for like...
Wait, that's
Half
here.
a
It's
second?
here. It's
For like
here.
half
It's
a
all
second,
here.
and then
See,
we're
this is
like,
interesting.
what?
These are
spoiling.
amiibos. These are new.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
New
who cares?
amiibos for Switch 2.
For Street Fighter. Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
I
definitely
saw
skip
this,
past
and I
this one.
swear to God, I thought I was looking at Pragmata for like a half second.
Pragmata. I thought maybe Vanquish at first, and then like Xenoblade. Hey, can you and then I remembered Daemon X Machina. Hey, can you
This is Daemon X Machina?
Yeah, well, new
Yeah.
one.
What?
I think we.
You think it'll be good?
Knew this was in development. I think, but I don't remember.
Arsenal.
Yeah, this has been previously announced, but I don't think it's actually been shown.
Do you think this one will be good?
It's a weird thing to have in this direct.
Why?
I don't know. It looks pretty
Because,
sick.
like, I don't know. It seemed a little uneven. Some of the stuff they showed.
Even. They mostly showed games that were released already.
Yes, that was rough.
Yes.
Dude,
Oh, but like the
The-
stuff that wasn't released, kind of hit in interesting
Dude, the-
weird ways.
The quote-unquote launch lineup of this system is pretty weak. I mean, Mario Kart World...
Yeah.
The launch.
Titanic
So
style.
people have been comparing it to Switch One, and I will say that
Oh,
like 2017 was not the norm for a launch window lineup. This is coming out in June. Like this is fine. Like launches are not good. 2017
That is-
was a fluke. Also, don't give me that shit. People forget that Breath of the Wild was a fucking Wii U game that just got like they fucking delayed and said we're gonna launch it with this other thing. Which Switch has one of those. It's called Metroid Prime 4, and it looks sick. Metroid Prime 4, DK, like those
they-
are
did
big
they-
fucking
wait,
games.
wait, wait.
Also, Mario Kart is
Pause.
last
Did-
time was a fucking port.
Did they announce a date for Metroid and I just missed it?
No.
No, but I
'Cause
mean, we know
that
it's
might
this
not even
year.
be that might not even be a launch window game.
It's a Switch 1 game. It's coming out this year.
Wait, who has Metroid Prime 4 right now?
I mean, they announced a year.
Oh my god,
You know
guys!
it's this-
Hogwarts Legacy!
We know it's this year, Nick.
I know it's this year.
You'll be immersed
Yeah.
in a wizarding world like never before.
Who
And the
has
new mouse
Metroid
controls
Prime?
on Switch 2.
I
think it's
wait. Do we not know a date? I think Metroid Prime might just be launch of Switch 2. We didn't hear about the date at the Switch 1 conference because I assumed it would be Switch 2 launch.
Wait
and
a
they
minute.
didn't want to reveal the launch date.
So when I play Hogwarts Legacy on my Switch 2, I can use the mouse mode to fly my broom.
Yeah.
It's a,
Whoa, that's a
Mouse
system
mouse
seller.
mode is like
That's a system seller.
it. So much of this feels like stuff that was decided like right when COVID hit. It's like, oh, we're sitting at our desks a bunch. Let's do like a fucking webcam and like a Twitch stream kind of thing. Fucking mouse. Like Miyamoto used a mouse for the first time in his life because he wasn't in the office playing with toys or whatever the fuck he does all day, right? It's like, what is this thing? A
Wrist
mouse.
controlled
Crazy. Why did they
video
call it a
game.
mouse?
Hitman World of Assassination.
It's
for
cute.
Nintendo Switch 2.
Hitman.
As the best
Hey, man.
assassin in the trade,
they also
Whoa!
announced.
7,000
When are they gonna show their James Bond game? Damn it!
Dude,
Probably next year.
was that thing about the pre-order bonuses for this game being like
Alright.
a Mario and
Player expanded
Luigi?
game will release
skin,
on the
was that
same
real?
day as Switch 2.
I
I don't know about that.
I hope so.
It
Can
was
you
like
jump
Mar-
ahead a little?
It was like Mario
Chris
items
Davis.
and Luigi items.
Well,
Which
let's
means
give
you can
Nick
be an
his 007
assassin named
moment.
Luigi.
There's something in this video, this clip that you want to see?
Are you asking me?
007.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris
I
Davis,
just
I
want
didn't hear what he
to.
said. I didn't hear what Chris Davis said.
I
just
said,
wanna
let's
see
give
Chris
Nick his
Davis.
007 moment.
I mean, I knew this was
No,
here. I'm
this
just saying,
is
like,
announced. This
is great, but like, I want to see the game. Like, I want to
Yeah,
see.
no, you're not the only
We
one.
don't know anything about it, right?
Favorite spot
Just that
is coming to Nintendo
it's a
Switch.
just that
007 game.
it's a 007 game made by IO Interactive. That's literally.
Yeah.
all.
This was a
Engine.
fucking. So there's been some Final Fantasy 9 smoke, and on the very first shot of this, I thought
Me
You
too.
thought it was
we should
happening
skip
on
past
this?
the first shot. But
I
the
thought.
very first
I swear to
shot,
God, I thought that was Dagger. I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Wait, go back. I wanna
Except
see
normal
it.
people don't call her Dagger. You fucking.
Yeah, you fucking. Oh
So-
my
so, like,
god!
just that-
Darn it!
Just that part, I was like, okay, this could be Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
And then immediately I
Wait,
was
is
let
this
down.
Bravely Default? Oh,
Yeah, it is Bravely Default.
nice.
It's not even a new one though.
I know. It's okay.
No, but Bravely Default is like pretty cool. It's,
They may
like,
have-
if it was a new Bravely Default, that'd be like okay. But it's not even that.
And people are pointing out that maybe they actually nerfed features for this HD remaster thing.
No, literally, no one
Perish
has
the
said
thought.
Bravely Default out loud today. Stop it.
No, there was. I remember I saw one person saying that like it looks like they removed the ability to do disable random battles.
You don't have to click on every thread on
They
reset.
made it so you have to play the game?
I think if I just got through
Real?
saying Bravely Default's kind of cool, but I'm it's a port. It's a port.
Oh my
Real
god,
God,
Brad, that was fucking funny.
God damn.
I'm sorry.
Dude,
That was really
Is this
funny.
gonna be sick? Is this gonna be worth it?
I look forward to finding
Dude,
out.
there's
What are they
something
saying here?
about like a multiplayer mode they're at, like something raid mode, where like you can play as a bunch of different characters.
Well, so that shot they just showed like right at the end there looked weird.
Hey, GameCube. We all love the
Yeah.
GameCube, right?
I mean, I love
This
the
kind of
GameCube
like undercuts
sound
like
effects.
we've been waiting for certain GameCube games to come to like Switch.
Yeah,
How
and
dare they-
remastered for.
Final
How
Fantasy
dare they
Crystal
put the
Chronicles.
original Wind Waker on here and not even
that is.
mention the
It's
HD
fucking
remaster?
absurd. It doesn't make any sense.
Here's
Oh
the
my
thing,
god.
No one
Is
wants to
Rogue
play this
Leader gonna
version
be
of
on
Wind
this?
Waker again. Stop
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
They made such huge quality of life improvements to Wind Waker with that remaster.
Yo, this
That,
is
like-
like One Piece.
This is kind of cool, right? Because you can't get the Link version of
two?
Soul Calibur
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Oh. But like what? You also can't get the one that has Darth Vader. Wait. Well, listen,
can.
it was Link, Heihachi, and
Vader.
Spawn.
Darth Vader.
Oh,
Spawn.
Spawn.
It was
You
Spawn.
know,
in the Xbox.
4 had Yoda and Darth.
Or-
And the next
Yeah, that
game
was right.
had,
Yeah.
the next game had Yoda and Darth Vader.
F-Zero GX. What a fucking.
Oh, new F-Zero!
Not even a new F-Zero.
That'd be sick. Not even like upscale. This shit just looks like
It looks like a GameCube.
low resolution GameCube games.
480p.
Guys, I'm beginning to think we'll never see another F-Zero game again.
Wow. yeah.
I mean, if one happens, it's not going to be
Clearly,
developed by Nintendo.
Clearer image quality and higher resolution than the original release.
Oh, this does.
I don't know.
have
We're getting
higher
that Kirby.
resolution, I guess.
We're getting that Kirby F-Zero game.
Customize them to your liking.
Oh,
Okay,
Kirby
don't,
Air Ride?
don't call that,
That
an
looks
F-Zero.
sick.
More titles.
It's so funny. I've been like shit talking that game all day. Kirby's
That's-
Air Ride.
Well,
Because
of
everyone's.
Nintendo
I've been
GameCube,
saying like, yeah,
Nintendo
I've been
Classic,
kind of trolling the
Switch
game
2
over on the
exclusive
Fantasy
game
Critic
library
Discord
coming to
saying
Nintendo Switch
it's
Online
bait,
plus
it's bait,
expansion
don't bid,
packs.
don't bid.
Launches the same day
And
as
there's
the
some
hardware's
truth to
release.
that. Because the first one scored a 61, and everyone's like, "No, it's gonna be different now." You know, Sakurai. Sakurai is our hero, and I'm like,
Oh.
"Motherfucker!" He directed the first one, and it was still 61. And I'm like, "Yeah, but he's goated now." I'm like, "Motherfucker!" He directed Air Ride after he did Melee, and he was goated back then. Maybe Kirby Air Ride just sucks.
I didn't know the fucking Smash Bros. Guy did.
Yeah, but he did it back then too.
Yeah.
Post goatedness, he still made a bad Kirby.
After
racing
he
game.
had the sauce.
But like the thing is, it became like a meme.
How dare they? How fucking dare they?
This is crazy.
That's all you
How
get for
dare
this
they?
year, Nick. See
What
you
do
next year.
mean, how dare they?
It said 2025. It
Yeah,
said
it's
2025.
That's huge news, dude. like,
Shut
like
the fuck up.
That's a lie, right? They're
as
just
much
That's a
as
lie.
Lie.
Please don't.
No,
Please don't
no.
forget us. We promise it'll be this year.
but that's the thing. They've never promised a year before. Like
Yeah.
they said in their Discord too. They made an announcement that it's this year.
Plus, it's a 2D platformer. Like, how long could it fucking take?
But here's the thing, right?
7
this Direct
years.
was a little like uneven, you know. It had a few cool things, right? A couple of cool things, maybe. But it, like, in terms of like Fantasy Critic, which I guess we'll talk on the podcast, like 3 people who may have been semi-struggling or just didn't have like too many bangers, just
Got some bangers.
got some bangers, including me taking an L, right? So I took an L and 3 people took huge dubs. So it's kind of
Shit just
spicy.
got
Like
competitive.
shit. I was getting a little bored.
We got a game. We
So I
got a
feel
game
like
now.
we have a game now, and that's kind of exciting.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I opened Fantasy Critic to do like a big bid today because I didn't. I forgot that somebody had.
On
had-
what? What was your big?
I forgot that somebody had already got Mario Kart.
Oh.
Yeah. Dweeb.
You're like, man,
Oh,
I'm
get a
gonna get
scoop
Mario
Mario
Kart before somebody else
I
does.
No, I was about to go in there and be like, "Fuck it, I'm dropping like $50 on Mario Kart."
Nick,
And just like-
you need to
Nick,
pick up
you
Mario
would not
Kart.
have gotten it for $50.
in
That is
January.
a like $86
Yeah.
game where the way you bid on Mario Kart after it's been announced is you count how
All
many
of your
slots
money.
you have left. You say
divide it by-
I'm gonna fill each of those slots with $1 and I'm gonna spend the rest of my money on Mario Kart. That's how you bid on Mario Kart.
Yep.
Is that
I mean,
game-
it's a
now that
moot
we know
point.
it's world, now that
If
we know
only-
it's world and it's a big deal and it's like Forza Horizon or whatever, that is like has potential for
That's
mid-90s.
crazy. That's so crazy.
And double points are priceless in Fantasy Critic,
I mean, like,
as you saw from the last couple of years.
this is really stupid, probably, but like, it makes me think of when I was a kid playing Mario Kart 64, and I always wanted to like drive around the areas on the track that weren't like the track. You
He's
know,
pitching
like-
that shit like Miyamoto.
Yeah.
It's true though. It's true. It's fucking true.
It's so sick.
Oh my god, what happened to Rick?
What do you mean
He got
what
hair
happened to him?
plugs.
He's like the same ass clown he's always looked like.
But now he actually like looks like an ass clown. Like I don't.
He has been dressing more like a magician lately, but
He's Hollywood now.
He's
Hollywood
he's
Yeah.
slowly transforming into an actual magician.
Bro, he's Hollywood now.
Yeah. He's going to all the
I saw-
premieres.
Big time movie producer.
does Borderlands usually have those kinds of vehicles? I guess they've always had that shit. Is there anything about Borderlands 4 that's remotely interesting to the non-Borderlands fan?
They haven't shown off much of anything.
In Civ 7, you'll establish
Dude,
Okay, yeah, we don't care about Civ 7.
Civ 7. Chris Davis, did you play
Just
Civ
like
7?
right arrow
No,
key a couple
and
times,
I-
please.
I'm not gonna play this for a while.
You're gonna wait till you get your Switch 2 so you can use the mouse function?
We can't wait to see you in the ring.
Like a TV series,
no.
he's just gonna wait till it's all out on disc.
I'm
or
gonna.
whatever.
I always. You gotta. With Civilization, you wait until the first expansion. That's what you do.
What some people do, not what millions do that already bought the game, but whatever.
Yeah, they're suckers.
Really? Was 6 any good, or was that like a
6 was okay.
I will.
a
Six
departure from
sold.
5?
6 sold weirdly well on the Switch, which is
Yeah.
probably why it's here on the
Yeah.
Switch too. Which again, everyone's like, "Oh, Silksong, why is Silksong here?" But remember, like Hollow Knight did not blow up in terms of like. Well, I mean, I think it sold like pretty well that first year before Switch for an indie game, a rando indie game. Like it built up steam by that end of that year, but it wasn't until it hit Switch that it kind of became an indie phenomenon. So I feel like it being on Switch 2 at launch or around launch year, whatever, makes complete sense.
Dodge countless bullets and aim for the Gungeon's depths in our roguelike shooter sequel.
All right, let's get this
So
shit.
it-
3D art style.
Should have seen something like this coming.
Wait, is Enter the Gungeon 2 not a big deal?
Yeah,
It's
No,
not
yeah,
necessarily
it
a
is.
big deal. I just kind of
If
like
you're
the
a fan of
presentation
Enter the
of the art
Gungeon,
style
I'm
here.
sure this is really
Didn't we?
exciting.
This is not new, right? We knew about this.
Yeah.
Is
Isn't
it?
Yeah,
it
but
like
they
early
hadn't really
access or
shown off
some
that
shit?
much footage.
Enter the Gungeon's fine.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but I think it's early access or something.
Oh,
I don't play
Like
early access
Astroneer or
games.
some shit. What is this?
I guess it's not if it's coming to Switch too.
This is when the freeze happened during the stream, so I didn't see.
This looks like Astroneer.
I don't know what the fuck. This is something. I don't know.
It's No Man's Sky on the Switch.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Dude, wouldn't it be sick if they had shown Light No Fires? Like, that would have made me freak out.
On a Switch. though?
Star Seeker.
Man.
Oh, it is
Astroneer.
Astroneer Expeditions.
Hello.
What?
Isn't it kind
Yeah.
of funny that like
We are delighted to bring the immersive
because
world
the
of
this system is
Dark
just
Pictures
called
Nintendo players
a
for the first
Switch,
time.
still it's just still a
Cyberpunk
Switch,
2077 is
and
an
it's still not as
open-world
powerful as like
action-adventure
modern
RPG set
hardware.
in Night City.
They're never gonna try to get
Based on
whimsical
Nintendo
with
62,
names again
you can
after the
transport
Wii U.
yourself to the city of
No,
dreams at home.
Yeah, we had that conversation right before you arrived, but yeah, no, they.
I
they
don't
are just
don't
playing
blame
safe.
them for that either.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate
Literally,
Edition
literally, they
comes
went
in
from like
Nintendo
industry-shaking
64
phenomenon to one of the worst-selling systems of all time. Major systems of all time.
I'm a Gucci.
Oh man, and then we saw Square Enix again. I thought for sure, something, but no Final Fantasy 9, no Final Fantasy Tactics.
Well, the anniversary's
There's
not for a
been
while.
Final Fantasy 9 smoke.
Yeah.
They revealed new Final Fantasy 9 figures that were designs people had never seen before. At least,
Yeah.
like,
The 25th anniversary
this?
is coming up in
no,
June.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So the
Which,
20
hey,
they
that's
they
Summer
launched a
Game
new
Fest
website.
time.
They launched a new website for FF9.
Liza P2?
This looked very
Dude.
Liza P. And I think part of it is because it's a Switch game and it looked a little budge, right?
Dude, I was
Because-
flipping back and forth between. I was like, "Is this Bloodborne? Is this Castlevania?" Like, I was like, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
Gothic
From
horror
Software's
shit.
making like a modern Castlevania.
Castlevania ain't this like.
Yeah.
There would not be this slow of an
Ain't this
intro for a
gay?
Castlevania game.
From Software, they're never gonna make a
Dude.
Castlevania game because they don't need to. They don't.
My life.
I
They're
can't
always
even
gonna be
watch this
profitable.
anymore.
What?
Did you just call
You
this
guys
gay,
are
Crispy?
fucking No, I said. Oh yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about that.
called Castlevania gay.
The clip with from the Monster Hunter clip that someone posted in our Discord
Which one?
of like, it's
Words.
not Christopher Walken, talking not Christopher Walken, the other guy from the Lighthouse. It's
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe talking about like his friend, but it's like
yeah, he's
your
gay.
friend your
He's
friend
like-
who mains longsword and hunting horn.
He's gay.
He's gay, but he loves he loves
Dude,
classical
that's a
music.
fucking,
And
like,
it cuts to the
Niche
hunting
Kingdom
horn.
effect. Yes.
That's so good. So good. All right, post that. We need that
Dude,
in
this is
chat.
gonna be sick. You guys are
Someone posted in chat.
crazy.
It would have been. It was gonna be. It was gonna be sick
Dude,
when I
look,
thought I was gonna
looks
play
like
it.
a fucking Astro Man. He's got.
This looks fucking cool. You're right. That Astro Man, goated. But stop it. This is not
No,
Bloodborne 2.
No.
Until the end, I was
I'm
like,
not
oh,
saying
are they
it's
making
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne? No, I know, but I thought it was Bloodborne Ring or some shit. Elden
I thought this was gonna be a
Blood.
single player From Software
was-
adventure,
This
exclusive to the
was gonna
Switch.
be
Do you understand the
Demon
difference between those two?
to Bloodborne, what Dark Souls was to Demon Souls.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sure.
It's like a Bloodborne Elden
Big
Ring
titties!
sequel that we didn't know about, or a game that Crispy's gonna play for a few weeks that thinks is kind of cool. Look, they're two different things. They're two different things.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. I'd be happy to pay $80 to play this on my Switch.
That's kind of a. Now that $80 is kind of stinking a little.
Look at that! You can ride a dog.
I'd be like,
turns into a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
That guy
I'd be like,
turned
I
into
hope this
half
comes
a
to
dinosaur.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking that about Night Rain. Hope that shit's on like one of them subscription services.
Nope.
The Yeah,
He's just in his
Bloodborne.
underwear. It's not cool. You just because you stand like that doesn't mean you're not in your fucking long johns.
The Dusk Bloods.
When I stand like this, they can't see my long johns.
Legally distinct
This shit
Ratburn.
looks like Elden Ring to me though. Is
Oh,
is
yeah.
that not
It's
just an
probably a
Elden
leftover
Ring
asset.
thing?
Dude, I
That
was
rune
getting
or whatever.
The one shot early on of the character standing on that that platform overlooking
Yeah,
the city
also that.
looked like Elden Ring.
But I mean
Like,
specifically like the rune thing or whatever from Elden Ring.
oh,
Yeah.
I was constantly getting flashbacks between Elden Ring and Bloodborne, and I think that was very intentional.
oh
The
shit.
jetpack guy is sick, but I just want him in an actual Bloodborne sequel.
Dude, but oh my god, that is like if that was a Bloodborne sequel and they were like, let's do Yarnum, but like post-industrial revolution, like
That'd be
That would have
great.
been it. Nintendo would have won. Like that would have been
And
it.
it literally
God.
was that until the press release
Yeah,
right
it was
after.
great.
Yeah.
But still, it's
Oh my
fine.
god, how deceptive do you have? Like literally not a
Maybe-
single word about that during the trailer.
Maybe FromSoft just does like multiplayer PvPvE games now.
You shut your whore mouth.
You fucking fight me, bro. I'll suck
Is
your
it-
dick.
So with Kirby Air Ride, it's a little disingenuous for them to be like, oh, by the way, Sakurai's working on this. Like, it's a little disingenuous to act like he didn't direct that first one that's 61 on
that-
Metacritic.
That was
Hang on, is that
20
what
years
Kirby-
ago. People don't remember that.
Is
What
that
was
what Kirby
Smash
was
Brothers
like-
Melee? What do you? It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how long
No, it
ago
doesn't.
it was. Sakurai made amazing games back then, and he made Kirby Air Ride. Just
Yeah.
because that was 20 years ago doesn't mean he's suddenly good at making Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah,
that
but he's
why-
had
is that
20
why
years to
Kirby-
develop his craft. Like, give him a
He's
little
been
credit.
making Smash Brothers.
It's
Yeah.
gonna suck. It's not gonna suck. Is that why
Okay.
Kirby was the hero of the
All right, pause this.
fucking...
This one's too big. Or pause
Smash
this,
Bros.
rewind this.
Ultimate
Hold
trailer?
on. I got to get this out. First of all, Sakurai, it's overglazed. He became a little bit of a meme. You know how people like the, glazing or, memeing Nintendo executives and high up, like people just like, they like finding that, right? And Nintendo got real cute with it. Oh, he's working so hard on Smash Brothers. He just loves it so much. There's so many characters. Sakurai. If it wasn't for Sakurai, fucking Solid Snake wouldn't be in the game. They became cute with it, right? And like everyone loved it and they were memeing on this guy and they're like, Sakurai's the hero we need, not the one we deserve. It became a thing,
Get it
a
out, Brad.
meme. But like, he's just whatever, the creative director of this fucking franchise. Smash Brothers has been the same fucking. You know what the most innovative Smash Brothers was? The 64 one, a fighting game with Nintendo characters where you win by knocking them off the stage. That was the innovative one. Since then, they've just been adding fucking characters. Okay, I don't know what Sakurai did, but Melee in 2001 was like a 93 on Metacritic. Okay. He still made Kirby Air Ride after that, and it still sucked. He has not been honing his craft. They've just been adding more third-party fucking cameo characters in the same fucking series that, honestly, Sakurai is probably just one of hundreds of people who work on. So
All right, Brad.
stop it.
Wrap it up, Brad.
Craft, honing his
Wrap it
craft.
up.
Fuck off. Sorry. Continue.
Okay,
was-
hang on.
Sakurai, you do no wrong.
So,
Fuck
like,
up,
does
Brad.
Sakurai have, like, a special relationship with Kirby, then? Is that
Yeah,
why Kirby
oh,
was the
yeah.
hero?
He's been the director of the franchise since 93.
Wow, so he does. So this is a return home for the guy, man. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where he, like, finally pops off.
You know when people start to pop off for Sakurai? After Kid Icarus Uprising. Because, I don't know, they made Kid Icarus anime and everyone loved it, even though it controlled like shit.
Is this game
But
coming out?
That's the thing. He's no more goated now than he was back then in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's just like a meme now. It's cute now, like people do this shit all the time, especially with older Japanese men. It's ridiculous. Whatever. Kirby Air Ride sucks. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully this
Talking
one
about
doesn't
Donkey
also
Kong now.
suck.
We're gonna do a one segment show tonight because this trailer talk's going a little.
Well,
It's
this
not
is
going
the
that
show.
long. I mean, this is we are live. This is the entertainment.
Dude, no joke. These first couple shots, like, made me think of No Man's Sky. Some of this shit.
It made me
What
think
No
of,
Man's
is this
Sky
a
looks
3D
like now.
Mario game? Question mark.
Yeah, I forgot what there was.
Dude, that looks like No Man's Sky. I'm sorry.
The monkeys?
No, the fields, not the monkeys. Oh, I'm looking on the stream.
Everyone who's excited about Kirby Air Ride was exactly like 8 years old when that game came out.
Okay, but let's
Why
be
they're
real.
excited.
This looks pretty cool, right? This game.
It does.
What do you mean
pretty
pretty
rad.
cool? This shit looks like
looks
Game
sick.
of the Year, Nick.
Don't
This is
let
Red
fucking
Faction
Brad
Gorilla
praise
2.
This either. He's not a fucking Donkey Kong fan.
Wait, what are you
So
talking
I don't want to
about?
hear bullshit from him about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
game.
but Donkey Kong was never this, bro. This is
Donkey
Red
Kong-
Faction Gorilla.
Donkey Kong Country was sick. Donkey Kong 64 was sick.
Look
Wait
at
a
this
second.
shit.
Did you hear
Red
that?
Faction Gorilla.
Go
Yeah,
Red.
I made that joke like 20 seconds ago.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Pretty good joke.
Oh my god. Both of us stole it. The only thing is, I'm the only one who's going to own up to stealing it, Chris Davis.
So good.
Where did I steal it from?
I really want to go to the Donkey Kong.
No, this looks
Nintendo
amazing.
World.
This is like fucking like a platformer with Geomod. This looks like a fucking Hulk game or something. This is
So like,
perfect
are
for
you gonna
Donkey
just be able
Kong.
to like dig anywhere like that?
Yeah, it's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You think?
It looks fucking sick. It looks like, although, look, this is gonna be great. But this looks like just one of like the powers Ashley
Wait a minute.
would have had in a couple of levels, you know?
They put pants on him. What the fuck?
Yeah, I want to see his big hairy dick.
Why? Why, God? Does it always come back to that?
Why have you done this? Why have you done this?
Did he
Free the
used to wear
dick!
pants? Did he used to wear
Free the
pants?
gorilla dick! I want to see that hairy asshole.
All right, can you loop this one? Can you loop this one? Or is there one after this? Yeah, just loop
Face
this one.
You are
Donkey Kong-
unhinged.
Donkey Kong used to show hole, and that's when this country was great.
I mean, he
Why
wasn't
is
wearing
this
pants
game-
in that shot right there.
Why is this game not $80?
$80? It's
When
not?
like the port of Kirby Forgotten Land
Wait,
is
wait. Who said this isn't $80?
Nintendo.
They've announced
How
the
much
price
is
of
70?
this.
It's
70.
70. I don't get it.
Oh, so it's just only kind
Wait.
of more expensive.
Well, Mario
But the
Odyssey
port-
was
those
$50.
fucking shitty ports are $80.
Yeah, but Mario Odyssey was $50. It wasn't
That's
60.
crazy.
Was it?
That's
what?
crazy.
But was it? Did it come out right before they became $60 games?
Yeah, but the thing is,
The
this
Switch
game,
at launch wasn't 60.
This game will be $70 forever. It will never be cheap.
Yeah.
No, no,
That's-
you're right.
That is probably
Wait.
true. That is
It
accurate.
will never be cheap.
So is this the rumored Donkey Kong made by the Odyssey team?
has
I mean,
Yes.
it looks
Yes.
like
it
that
looks
for
like
sure.
Odyssey.
It is them.
It does. This looks like it was built on.
What's the
like
deal
maybe
with
they
the
were
purple
working on an
guy?
Odyssey 2 and they started fucking with destruction. You know, the movie popped off. They're like,
They-
fuck it, let's just make it a Donkey Kong game.
They were making
Oh, they
Mario
must have
Odyssey
worked
and
way
going like,
longer.
this is kind of cool, but this would be sicker if it was
They're-
Donkey Kong.
This is probably like marketing for the new Donkey Kong spin-off movie.
I mean,
Not-
part of
no,
it. Yeah, I
dude,
mean, they
it's the
adopted the
fucking-
art style.
Dude, the American version of like the Nintendo World theme park opens like this month.
Yeah.
Like,
And there
and
is a Donkey Kong.
It has
ride, I
the
think.
Donkey Kong expansion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched that video I posted in Fantasy Critic. The Donkey Kong roller coaster is kind of fucking cool. Like, it has a section. It has like the minecart section where it's like jumping from tracks. Like, it's sick.
That's cool.
Someone in chat, Fatal Frame in chat asks, what did Henry think of this? I showed him most of the stuff worth watching in the Switch to Nintendo
got
Direct.
excited about
He was pogging
Very
harder
bougie.
for the Switch 1 Direct last week. that had like you know, the new Miitopia game or whatever it's called. Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi Life?
Yeah.
Well, he's saying he was.
What is wrong with the youth today?
This one,
Well,
he
no,
was like,
there's just not. There wasn't much to see. Like it was literally
kidding.
this
Yeah.
and Mario Kart was all he was like excited about because there wasn't much
Henry-
else that was new.
Henry was like, but Dad, most of these games are already out.
Is there a trailer after this? We can.
I don't
we can
know.
see.
We'll find out. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors.
That one's boring.
Looks just like Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean,
For a second, I was hoping, what if
Yeah,
it's
right.
not a Warriors game and it's like they made like Zelda Neo?
Yeah, fucking right.
But how sick would it be? How
Cool,
ready?
Well,
You're a
but,
fucking
like,
psycho.
dude, it would be so cool if like the world was a better place. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
A terrible evil arose.
Yeah, I can't. Like, it's just
Damn.
boring. It's just
Yeah.
A war was
It's like-
fought to vanquish this evil.
the worst part is that
Future generations
like
recall
Koei Tecmo does more like
the imprisoning
like
war.
bringing these characters to life than the actual mainline series that they're like taking from. Like there's like powerful like story moments and like emotional like character development in these fucking
actually do
Warriors
lore.
games based on Breath of the Wild. It's so fucking funny, dude. That Nintendo has less voice acting in their mainline Zelda game than the Muso spin-off from Koei Tecmo. It's absurd.
It's like the
Whatever.
poster child of turn off your brain and have fun. Every time I hear somebody say that, I want to fucking die.
With the Muso games?
I mean, just this is like the poster child of that mentality.
Yeah.
So I may be
But, like,
reading
these
into
games
it a
also
little
suck.
bit, but I think that like the vehicle crafting and tool aspect of Tears of the Kingdom is in here.
Is it?
Are you
I mean,
sure
there
it
was a
wasn't
character
just like
that had a,
suit-
a
like
transformation to use one.
Yeah, I hate to break it to
Yeah.
you, dude. That's just the Y after 3 X's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have the ability to
build a
like craft
meter.
something in
Yeah.
advance of a battle, then take it into battle, like that's a fucking cool
I
idea.
just don't think it's that. I just think it's part of like the mashy moveset. It's just cool animations.
Maybe. I'm just,
But you know, they
maybe
get,
I'm a little
or it's like the horse.
Is preaching.
I want to see this new character because I had not seen her yet. Doesn't seem like a King of Fighters character. Seems like she'd be in the new Street Fighter game.
Sine cosine? Oh no, not math.
Wait until she pulls out her tangent.
Wait, is that her name? What
No,
is her name?
that's
Oh.
no. Her name is Preacha.
Oh, is that like a mechanic sign?
Sine cosine, I think, is like her attack.
Oh, she's got glasses. She's smart.
Circular step.
Whoa, they
Peacha?
should have called it the protractor step or something. All right, skip this one.
I don't know. That's
It-
that's
the
a very
next one ain't cool,
obtuse
we'll
way of
start.
thinking of this character, there, Brad.
What game is this?
King of Fighters.
I personally think she's a little acute.
Screw
Shut the
leg.
fuck up, Chris Davis. Jesus Christ.
I mean, like bad delivery, bad pronunciation.
Yeah.
Like there was potential there, but you. Oh, let's watch this one. This shadow drop. Like no one thought that this was gonna launch anytime soon, and it launched today.
What is this?
Oh, y'all haven't seen this game? It's called Haste. This
She's
is
got
from
glasses.
the.
She's smart.
This is from the. I believe it's. Is it the tab totally accurate battle simulator?
Really?
Really?
Let's see.
This looks rad.
This looks like a good Sonic game.
Well, it's actually more like
Tribes?
well, it has like tribes mechanics, right? Like you want to land on like a descending
Yeah.
slope to
You
build
gotta hit
momentum.
your
Yeah.
lanes.
Remember that game Exo 1?
Yeah.
Like Tiny Wings, I guess.
Yeah.
Also. Developed by.
This is Sonic, but like fun.
Yeah. I
Damn.
mean, you're right.
3D Sonic, but fun.
Haste! Oh my god.
Yeah, they made tabs and Cluster Truck.
Out now. Okay. Wait, this is the cluster
And
truck.
people love
dance?
the demo. Yeah. And then
Uh,
popped for that one.
That
Peggy.
okay.
Oh,
That
yeah,
explains
kill
some.
this.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
What does that explain exactly?
Kind of like there's a lot of later levels in Cluster Truck that really have that launching you forward, a lot of momentum and distance gain, and then manipulation of the environment to land just right to get the perfect jump.
I mean, I just don't want it to be what it is.
You guys
But
don't
and then
give a
again,
shit
I wasn't
about
like clamoring for more Elden Ring like right away. I'd not even played the expansion, but Bloodborne, that one hurt.
it. You guys don't give a shit about this, huh?
Nah. And I mean, this one. I mean, I get
that's
why
kinda cool.
people are excited about this one. Get it?
The network
Hey,
test went pretty
there
well,
he is.
apart from some of the bugs.
That's a cool sword he's got.
All right.
My
let's-
wife will
let's-
play this purely for the lore.
Really?
the
Is there
Switch.
much?
And it's
Oh,
a pure
I will
PvE
say
co-op game.
before we kill this. I was really surprised to see that this game got a 1.0 release date and it's very soon. I thought for sure this was going to be like early access, PC only for like a year or so.
What is
But this is like
Con-
launching on consoles as well. Soon. Soon.
That first game didn't get-
The first game was real good, yeah.
What is this?
Those of us who remain,
Monster Train.
Monster Train 2.
Oh, really?
I mean, this has been announced, but the thing is, this is the launch date, like fucking trailer. I was just surprised. I thought I wouldn't have to care about this for like 2 years, but no, it's
Yeah.
launching 1.0 like soon.
Say goodbye to all your bathroom time.
Well,
you're gonna be real regular soon.
I mean, Slay the Spire 2 also comes out this year, so
hang on, I gotta go
Brad-
for the ninth
I
time
think they
today.
might be trying to beat Slay the Spire 2 to market.
Brad
Brad is
think
going to
they
have
might
the
be rushed.
cleanest colon.
Brad's gonna be like in a constant
you-
state of pooping.
If you could look at like the ratio between like how much of a game you played versus how much of that time your butthole was open, this would be the highest one for Brad.
For sure. But I mean, that's not a. Is it coming to mobile?
Yeah, it will.
Oh my god.
It will eventually. Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Goodness
You're-
gracious.
Butthole.
I will say that it is good they're likely going to beat Slay the Spire 2 to market because that's going to eat every card game developer is probably so sad that Slay the Spire 2 is coming out now because I feel like for years they're like, let's make a Slay the Spire 2 like it'll feel like people are long. They love that kind of game. They're longing for it. They're tired of Slay the Spire, which they weren't. So like let's make one that's kind of like that. Monster Train was like the first big notable one I think that kind of blew up after Slay the Spire dropped. But since then there's like half a dozen a year that are like actually kind of good. And now the big boy's coming back.
Now the big boy's back.
Hopefully like towards the end of the year, but who knows? Actually, I'd be okay if Slay the Spire 2 came out like tomorrow.
Would your family be okay with that, though?
It's going to be a little weird though, because I can't really play it on the toilet if it's only like Steam Early Access. At work, I mean. I'm not going to like drag my Steam Deck into the bathroom.
Yeah, that'd probably be a problem.
I could just keep a Steam Deck somewhere in the bathroom, like in the.
Store it in the ceiling.
Yeah.
The outro card for Monster Train 2 says it's on PS5, Switch, Xbox, and PC. Does not say anything
Yeah.
about mobile.
But I mean, that's a 1.0 launch, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. I just wasn't expecting because they must have multiple teams because they shipped Inkbound 1.0 last March or something or February, and that same developer. Although that game got some shit for like abandonment.
Fuck, Crispy.
What?
What is I didn't realize there was a Photoshop of Brad and Randy Pitchford together.
No, I'm interviewing him.
Concernedly.
Oh, I'm just confounded. It's Randy Pitchford.
I think in that picture he's touching your ass, and that's why it looks like that.
Oh, 100%.
Oh no, what's happening?
He's not just
poking a
touching
finger.
your ass. He's got a finger up there.
He's halfway home.
He wants to show you a magic trick.
No.
He's no.
He's
not
going to
showing
make
me
that
the
finger
magic trick.
disappear.
He's telling me it is a magic trick. Like it's not. This isn't real. It's just a magic trick.
It's not a magic trick. It's a dick.
Testing.
What the fuck, guys? Y'all are unhinged tonight, which is actually how I think I like it.
It's
Like, that's-
it's been a day, Nick. It's been a day.
The show benefits the more unhinged we become. Okay, are we ready?
Are we? My
Testing.
question for you: are we doing a one-segment show?
I mean, we pretty much have Nintendo Switch 2, Atom Fall, and some
I don't
Fantasy
have a
Critic
fucking
stuff, right?
game. and I don't really want to hear too much more about Assassin's Creed.
I'm recording.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
first of all, fuck
We
you,
have to-
Brad. But two, I wasn't planning on talking about it again this week.
Oh, at all? You put it on the tweet.
You
Well,
did?
I was just trying to find something. I was like, maybe I'll mention it.
The
I
law
don't know.
is you got to talk about it now.
Damn, it's on the tweet. That's true.
Yep.
Long-standing rule. I still have the scene
It's
set
a
up for it.
self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, you say we all bully you about Assassin's Creed, so we got to do a little bit of bullying. Otherwise, it's not true.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, I'm gonna start recording unless y'all have any objections.
I'm
I'm
not
recording.
I have been listening
Alright.
to some podcasts,
Oh,
and,
Uh-huh.
and so I've been hearing some of the Assassin's Creed Shadow
Wait.
stuff.
Wait. Can I do the intro and then we can make this part of the show?
Okay, sure.
All right. Real quick. Roll call starts now. Brad,
Hello.
Crispy,
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello, hello.
All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. All right, Brad, go.
Oh, I was just listening to some of the Assassin's Creed conversation. Usually, I just kind
Yeah.
of tune that stuff out. It's not really a series I'm too interested in, but everybody who's talking about it is like, you know what? I'm kind of into this, and then they start describing like, oh, because like ninjas are cool, and this reminds me of like Tenchu and stuff. And it doesn't sound like any of it has anything to do with Assassin's Creed being good, but more just that like ninjas are sick.
Well, no, I think
which is
that's
true. Which is fucking true.
No, I think
like,
that's-
we've
I think
known that for so long.
I mean, I don't know how much of the conversation you tuned out last week, Brad, when I was talking about it, but like I
you
more or
were
less
saying some of that as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, like there is something to be said about like they finally did the thing everybody wants them to do, and it's pretty good. And playing as a ninja is really good.
Yeah.
Combat is really fun. Like,
I just think
You're
part
right,
of it
that's-
is that like we've also known that that's true in video games for so long now, though, that it's almost like kind of adorable that Assassin's Creed finally got around to it. And of course, it's cool to be a ninja. But what
And
are
I-
we talking about here?
I don't know.
Y'all remember Ask a Ninja? Is that like you can't go back to that, right? That's like offensive, right? Crispy, Ask a
Some of
Ninja.
it, some of
oh,
it
I
is.
forgot about asking.
Oh,
Ninja.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crispy's not even old enough for
I am
Ask a Ninja.
fighting ninja. We are ninja. I am ninja, too.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah.
that's no good, right? Like I have
Probably
not
not.
seen
Yeah.
it in a long time, but I'm just gonna assume that it's like not
Ask a
cool
ninja,
anymore.
not cool.
That's probably
He
accurate.
wasn't
Okay,
like doing. He wasn't trying to be Japanese or anything. Though.
No, he was. He was like,
He had his
ninjas
own
are
character.
cool.
I am
Yeah.
ninja master.
all right, real quick. I'm gonna do an actual intro for the show.
Okay.
Just for posterity. This is episode
Did you say
830.
posterity?
For the
Prostate.
sake of my prostate, I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
do an actual intro to the show. It's episode
Okay.
830. It's
Yeah.
April 2nd, 2025, the day after April Fools, and it's been less than a week since our last show because, of course, we recorded pretty late last week, and we're recording on an off night. It's a Wednesday night, but we're doing this because, of course, today was Nintendo's big Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. We wanted to make sure we had a chance to talk about that on the show while it was a hot topic. So we're doing it. We're doing the show on a Wednesday. But yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say. We can just shoot the shit now. I just wanted to get that out there. I'm being a great host tonight.
Donkey
Kong.
Kong.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
So what are we talking about here tonight?
I don't
Nintendo?
know. I get fuck it. Let's just so we just did.
Wait, open with Fantasy Critic?
No. We just did trailer talk. As
True,
we
true.
normally do before we record these shows live on twitch.tv/4Player podcast. And of course, we watched, as part of that, we rewatched a bunch of the stuff from today's Nintendo Direct. But now, kind of like everything's out on the table for the most part in terms of like the mystery of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the release date, the price, the launch window. Let's talk about it. Do we want to start hardware, software? What do we want to do? This was supposed to be like their big software thing, but
I
it's
got
been
some
just
software for you.
Let's talk about
I'm
software
a little
first.
soft on the Nintendo Switch hardware.
fair enough. Go for it. I'll allow it.
I don't know. It's just another Switch, a very expensive new
Oh, but
Switch.
it has a chat
This-
button now.
It does have a chat
Which
button.
will-
It has
will
features that
never-
are gonna.
I will never
Make-
use.
Yeah, no, that's the
No.
thing, right? Not for us. I get
You
it.
gotta have friends to use that button.
Yeah, it's not
Facts.
even. It's not even that, right? Because it's like, normies are gonna use like a nice headset and like Discord or some shit, right? Like, did you see the picture-in-picture shit that was running at like 4 frames a second in the official reveal? Like
That's
how it's
a
gonna
detrimental generalization there, Brad. It was easily running 8 to 10 frames per second on each screen.
run. Yeah. It's just I don't know, man.
It's not ideal. But these are all features and things that obviously I feel like maybe the quote unquote core audience is not necessarily interested in, but it's probably going to appeal to, the broader, more mainstream audience a lot, younger folks too, probably. They had that camera, which they spent more time than I would have liked talking about during the direct,
which is
but like
easily $100. There's no way it's not.
Yeah. And even though this was supposed to be kind of their big software reveal, they spent a lot of time showing off the hardware. You know what pissed me off more than maybe anything during this presentation is they did the thing, right, where it's almost like they were learning from Sony a little bit, where they were like, we made this software that's designed to show off, give you it's literally called like Switch tour or something. It's like supposed to give you a tour of the hardware and teach you about the stuff. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And they're like sold separately.
$60.
Like, you're telling me I have to pay you money for you to give me a thing that's just telling me how the inner workings of your hardware work?
That is wild, because that has such
they used to
pack-in
full
energy,
color,
pack-in game energy.
It had Astro's Playroom energy. Like, come on, just
did you see the Astro's Playroom tweet though?
No.
Or no, was it just Wario? Like Wario tweeted or retweeted about Astro's Playroom today as the free pack-in for the PS5. It was Wario. That shit was good.
Also,
that was a
Nick,
bit of a.
You have to remember that the pack-in technology demonstrator that you had to pay for separately for the Switch was 1-2 Switch. The same company that also went on to have the audacity to create everybody's Switch.
No. But this is a different thing. This really did look like just sort of a tech demo-y kind of.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a game. It was just like a cool way to like show you how the thing works. And it's like, if that was free, I would probably check it out. But there's no way in hell I'm paying money for you to show me the inner workings.
Can I pause for a second?
Sure.
Can we pause for a second? Who drafted Donkey Kong? No one has Donkey Kong in our league.
No one has Donkey Kong.
Wait, what?
But I will tell you right now,
Chris Davis had it.
I had it last year.
No, it is up for pickup.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Who has the most money?
Me, probably.
Okay, Fantasy Critic has
we have
updated.
3 people with $100.
Fantasy Critic has updated with Donkey Kong. It is up there and available for it. But that also means you're kind of fucked, Brad.
Me?
Yeah. Because you've been on unannounced 3D Mario platformer.
Yeah, but that's
we'll
just talk about Fantasy Critic later. That doesn't matter. Well, that's not even countered. I can just drop it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they chose not to convert it, even though it is the Odyssey team.
No, I know. It was always something different. I thought you had literally picked up Donkey Kong, but I guess I was thinking of last year.
No, you're thinking last year.
Why did you bid on that last year? No. So I didn't know it was up for grabs. That's crazy.
Neither did I. So my plan may still.
I mean, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, it's gonna be very expensive for y'all. I'm gonna make it very expensive for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like how
anyways, Chris Davis, you have $80. 3 people have $100.
Yes.
You're not gonna get that. I'm sorry.
Is somebody willing to spend $100 on one game?
Someone's gonna spend
they
more
should.
than $80 on that.
They probably
Any
should.
one of you, okay, Nick, if you do that, you're fucked.
That's not true.
Hey,
it is true. He's got fucking 5 open slots and still needs to take another counter pick.
That's a little rough.
Like he's fucked if he throws all of his money at that.
Hey, look. Can we get back on track here? We talk about Fantasy Critic later.
You got some open slots.
Crispy, you have $49. So if you're trying to talk them down into winning this game,
I don't even want it. It looks gay. I don't want it.
Okay. Wait, what?
It's true. I don't want any more too. I don't want any more either.
I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
That's well played. Well played.
He said Red Faction, and I was like, man.
Red Faction Gorilla.
That is a really well made pun. All right, that we did not create. Let's be clear. We specified this during. during the.
In fact, I'm gonna
for their
counterpick
talk.
it if one of you guys picks it up.
You fucking bring it.
So
Bring it,
I
bitch.
just pulled up the list because I was trying to find who counterpicked it. Because I was like, well, this was a Chris Davis game. We counterpicked all his dumb unannounced shit. His entire roster was counterpicked. So I was like, so who's dead? I was looking to see the person who counterpicked it because I thought they were dead in Fantasy Critic. And then I saw no one countered it. And I'm like, why didn't we counter it? And then I realized nobody had it.
Nobody
Fuck,
has it.
And you know
That's
what?
a
You could have
game
kept.
changer. So
you
there
could
are
have
certain
kept
people
that
we
shit
need to make sure
yourself.
don't get it.
Okay,
You
so
could have
like
kept that shit to yourself, Brad.
when
No, I
Ed
couldn't have we do public bidding.
Yeah. When Ed did his little moonshot of unannounced next mainline Fire Emblem game, wasn't he kind of waffling back and forth
I
between
think
two
he
franchise
was.
and the other one was Donkey Kong?
Ooh,
And we were
that
like,
sounds
no
right.
way a Mario
Ooh.
and a Donkey Kong game are coming out in the same
Ooh.
year.
Ooh, what are we talking about right now? Can we talk
I
about
don't
Donkey Kong? Do we have to go in
Wait,
order?
wait. Focus. God, you're like cats.
You're like
We're
cats.
still.
Cats.
I still want to. I want to finish up the conversation, just the general conversation about the hardware itself first, right? Because that was a major focus of the
It has a
presentation.
fan.
There are
I will
features that we
say
have not talked about on this podcast.
There's a fan. Well, we're not going to talk about fucking mouse mode because it's stupid and we don't care.
We can talk about the
already know
come
about it.
button, but like,
But we don't care about the chat button. What's interesting is that like when you plug it into a dock, which is just, it's not like there's no hardware in the dock outside of a fan, which suggests that they're gonna really overclock the shit out of the thing when you dock it, because they're saying on TV mode you're gonna be able to get like 4K up to 4K resolution up to 120 frames a second depending on the game and the resolution and all that.
I think it was
like it's pretty crazy.
I think it was 4K 60 if you
I
go
know,
up to.
I know, but I'm saying like up to 4K and up to 120 frames a second depending on whatever the game or the resolution or whatnot, and that's crazy. Like, because it's still a fucking handheld, and like it's not like we're playing games on our fucking PS5 that are hitting 4K 60 like consistently. I mean, there's plenty of games that are not 60 frames a second. Games that we feel like should be, but they're certainly not.
They're only advertising
we're choosing
it as a
between
feature.
Quality and performance,
I mean,
and oftentimes even the performance mode is not running at 60 frames a second.
This is not unusual. They're advertising it because it's capable of it, but it still comes down to the software developers,
which is what
to
I
actually
thought. But
take advantage
for
of
them
it.
to actually say that Metroid Prime 4 can run at 4K 60 seems crazy. Because
That does
we've
seem
seen
a
that
little nuts.
game, and it doesn't look like some like fucking 2D side scroller or whatever the fuck. Because that's what happened like with this past generation, right? It's like, oh well, like Ori can hit 120 frames a second. It's like, yeah, but
Who cares?
who gives a shit, right? But this is Halo. This is because Halo was never running at 4K 120 or whatever the fuck, right? They just sort of advertised that as the potential, right? But this is them actually saying, no, Metroid Prime 4K 60.
Here's my prediction.
Because it's
Here's my
still
prediction.
very pretty.
Here's
it's
my
got a good
prediction.
art
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond runs at 4K 60, and that is the only game for the entire lifespan of this console that runs at 4K
that's probably
60.
not true. But
do you think that indicates that there's nothing really crazy going on in Metroid Prime 4?
I don't think so. Like visually, you mean?
No, I mean like they don't have any weird like the Donkey Kong Geomod shit. They probably wouldn't have anything.
So
like,
I mean, we have
I'm not
based
saying
on the
that
first two trailers,
specifically,
it does seem like kind of
Little
basic
safe.
ass Metroid
Feature
Prime
light.
so far.
Like,
I don't think it's going to be like open world, but I never thought it was going to be that really. Not after we saw it the first time. So you're
considering
probably
it
right,
is-
but it doesn't matter. Like I was worried that I was going to, when I played Metroid Prime, that it would be on a Switch 1 and it would run like shit. And and now we're in a world where we're playing it on a Switch 2 at 4K 60. I never thought we would ever play a Metroid game at 4K 60, and this is happening this year. That's crazy.
Considering that it's cross generational, there's no way they're gonna have that much of a disparity between the two versions. So,
what do you
Switch
mean?
hardware is so weird.
Well, I mean, this is a much bigger jump. Like last
Yeah.
generation, like Breath of the Wild really didn't run all that much better on a Switch versus the Wii U, right? But that's because they were going from a console to a handheld. Now they're going from a handheld to much more powerful handheld, I guess, much more powerful. So it makes
Quote,
sense.
unquote.
but because of that, and because they promised Metroid Prime for the Switch One, they had to make sure it ran really well on Switch One. It's like they're not being like the fucking slumlords like Sony and Microsoft, where they just say fuck the base models. Everyone's gonna review it on Pro. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Nintendo is actually respecting the hardware it was intended to launch for, so it's gonna run great there. It has to, right? And that's why it's able to hit 4K 60 on the Switch 2, because I think they made it run really well on the Switch 1. That's the only thing that makes sense. Those are the kinds of games that can do that. Like anytime this generation you saw a game that, we talked about it, right? It's like indie games, or it's like ports of last generation games.
Of which there were many.
So Dark Souls 2 port or whatever ran it really well, but then Elden Ring came out and kind of ran like shit again, right? Because that was a game that was designed for that generation of hardware. So it's not unusual. I guess I didn't expect it to be that significant for Metroid Prime, because I don't know.
I'm really waiting for the other shoe to drop on Metroid Prime. I'm excited for it, but we keep talking about how safe is this?
Yeah, but you
know what I
remember,
mean?
even a safe Metroid Prime, like there have been worse than safe Metroid Prime.
Oh, I know.
I say that every Metroid Prime game is great, but what I'm saying is like Metroid Prime 2, like some people really like it, some people are like, oh, some of this is
but
weird
it was crazy
or
experimental.
annoying.
Like,
and Metroid Prime 3 also was like, oh, this is like so focused on like Wii controls. It's not like a singular world. You're hopping around between worlds. There's all these new characters and like cutscenes and stuff. To me, Metroid Prime 3 had some cool stuff, but it was like a little gross. So like if Metroid Prime 4 is more like Metroid Prime 1, in my eyes, they're making a new one that's like the one, right?
The GOAT.
It's like when Valkyria Chronicles 4 came out, and it was
more
like
like the
well,
first
this
one.
is more Valkyria Chronicles, but it's Valkyria Chronicles 1, the one I really love, and less of the stuff they were doing in like 2
For
and
sure.
3.
For
So
sure.
Even if this is Metroid Prime,
No,
Metroid Prime is goated.
And I think we've said this a few times. I mean, if it came out and it was just like a really safe entry in the Metroid Prime series, we'd all still be happy. We'd all still be playing it and probably be raving about it. But I am still kind of like suspicious, and we, I think we mentioned that like Tears of the Kingdom, we didn't even show its true hand until like a couple weeks before launch.
That's true.
And so like something like that could still happen.
It could,
I'm just kind of waiting.
This is still retro, right? Like it's not Nintendo like first party. Like I mean, it's all Nintendo first party. What am I trying to say?
It's not internally developed at Nintendo.
Retro
is a.
They're the ones who get a little cute with like hiding stuff. I don't think Retro does that. They're not like trying to hide reasons to buy their new video game like they like Nintendo can afford to do with Zelda, because everyone's gonna buy the new follow-up to Breath of the Wild so they can be cute with it. I don't think that's the point with this one. Doesn't even make sense to me. I don't get it. It's
Brad,
yeah, so I don't know. The thing is, there's no shoes gonna drop. Like the worst case scenario is that we just get a Metroid Prime game that's a lot like Metroid Prime. Like there's way more ways they could fuck it up, and we're not seeing that stuff in these trailers, which is good. I was worried that it was going to be more like, like fucking Other M, where Samus is like taking orders from some stupid bitch about not using her ability. I hate that fucking game so much.
Clearly, I couldn't tell. Okay, anything else I'm forgetting like that was significant hardware
From the Switch 2
related?
thing?
Yeah, just in general.
So we haven't talked about Mario Kart at all, which is like
I'm talking
a
about
huge
hardware. I'm talking about
hardware.
Anything else hardware related?
Hardware's unimpressive, but like everyone's happy to not have to play their games on a Switch 1 anymore. So I think no one's being too fussy about it.
I don't think anybody wants to play. I don't think anybody wants to play Metroid Prime 4 on a Switch 1. It's
no.
I'm going to, because I'm not.
But that's the thing. It's probably going to.
Do you want to?
I don't know. Yeah, okay, the Switch 2 hardware is not blowing me out of the water. You know what would be cool? Is if the Switch 2 could, like, feel pain or, like, be scared.
There is one cool thing
it was, like,
I guess we haven't talked about. one cool thing we didn't talk about the hardware.
We're
And
not
that's
there
the
yet, Crispy.
that's like the local screen sharing or whatever, like zapping your game to other people's like switches, and they could even use
Yeah.
old switches
Yeah.
to do like screen sharing, multiplayer, that kind of stuff. That shit's
Right.
pretty neat, you know. Like even because that's, I mean, in
Is that why
theory,
games are going to be $80?
Part of it.
so like in theory,
like,
so like
"You
so
can
like my
borrow."
kid is. So the Switch 2 can zap their screen elsewhere, but like can the Switch 1? They can't do that, right? But you can zap the screen to a Switch 1. You're like like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of potential here that people aren't really talking about.
There's some good
you know.
potential for
Children.
older games, like Game Boy Advance games that did 4-system link games.
Well, sure, I guess, but I mean that's such a minor thing, right?
Well, I mean, like
like-
Four Swords Adventures could come back, for example.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Federation Force.
okay, stop it. Ugh.
All right.
That-
Let's talk about it. Okay. Last thing, I guess hardware related. We didn't say anything about the release date and the price. June. What is it? June 5th.
7?
Somebody help
June
me.
5th.
I don't have it in front of me.
June 5th.
I think
June
yeah.
5th. $449 for the base model. $499 if you want the bundle with Mario Kart.
I
don't
don't
know
know
if
a good
anybody
deal
was-
on Mario Kart. That's
That is a good deal on
$30
Mario
off.
Kart, and everyone's gonna want Mario Kart, so it's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
So it's
for sure.
but I mean, everything is so expensive these days. No one really thought it was gonna be so cheap, right?
And again,
Inflation.
before the tariffs thing was.
Inflation.
I guess
Yeah.
it's a little weird because the PS5 was $400, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, a PS5 Pro is like fucking $4,000 or some ridiculous price, and like compared to that, this ain't that bad, right? Like if you look at graphics cards and what Sony's charging for their Pro, this shit seems like chump change, right? I don't know. We were buying Xbox Ones with Kinects for $500. At least
Look, I mean,
somebody was.
it is
And
expensive.
we were getting
and
a lot of value out of them.
Well, no,
It is expensive, and it's especially expensive for people who are used to
It's
paying
cheaper in
less
Japan,
for
is what I'm
Nintendo,
hearing.
for Nintendo products.
$330 region lock Japanese model? That's fucked up.
So this is what I'm wondering. Like, is the higher price here? So like the fact that it's cheaper in Japan is super unusual. I feel like.
It has something to do with the economy. Like,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm wondering? I'm
because
wondering.
they
'cause
can't.
The yen's in the toilet.
Yeah, the
right?
yen and the dollar are very.
Also, I can't help but wonder if, like, because they waited, they obviously chose to wait until today to talk about the price, whatever. And I'm wondering, because everyone was like, oh, they made this announcement, and then like literally this afternoon, there was all this talk about the tariffs thing, and like the stock market is crashing because reasons. And now I'm just like, everyone's like, well, I hope that doesn't mean like the price could get even higher. And now I'm just like,
No,
or
I
maybe they
think
were they actually like just
anticipating.
factoring that into because they
I
saw it coming.
probably is my guess. Yeah.
I mean,
What
You
are
have
they
to
going to do
factoring
about
it in.
scalpers?
You have to remember
Well, they are
that
doing something about scalpers, and oh my god, I
What are they
fucking
doing?
blew it, dude. So there was talk about April 9th. So when this Nintendo came out and they said, if you register on this site, we will sell you a Switch through the My Nintendo store, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to prioritize people who have at least played at least 50 hours of a game on their account
Wait.
and have been subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. That's how they're beating the scalpers, because scalpers are not going to have these accounts that have actually played. And it's since the end of February. So you can't just start playing a game now. These counts have to already exist
That's
for
sick.
you to be able to order.
And then is it like one per account or something?
So what you're saying
it's
is
one per
I'm
account.
not going
It's
to be
one per account.
prioritized on this
But
list.
here's the thing. I saw this April 9th shit. So when I also saw like Wario tweet about Switch doing this program, I thought that was also going to be on April 9th. But that site is live. You can go register now your
registered.
place in line. I didn't realize that till hours and hours later. So even though my account is good, I'm so far back in the line now. I'm worried that I'm not going to get a Switch this way
Do you think
because
that
they're only going to sell so many Switches this way. They don't. There's no way they're going to reserve millions of Switches just for this My Nintendo store launch day release. There's no way, right? So I'm super frustrated right now, and now I'm worried that I'm not going to get a Switch at launch. I'm not going to be able to get a Switch at launch because everywhere else, the scalpers in 2025 are different than they were in
Dude,
2017.
it's so
They've
bad.
evolved.
It's so bad.
I keep getting like scalper videos of like Pokemon cards, and like people are like getting into fist fights at Target,
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
on a daily basis over these scalpers. It's ridiculous. But do you think I could make money by selling my Nintendo account to a scalper then?
Probably yeah. Actually, but you'd have to
God damn
sell
it.
your
God
whole
damn it,
Nintendo
Crispy.
account and any digital games you've purchased it for it. Now,
Crispy's
I
over here
will
hustling.
say, Crispy, you should probably, even if you don't intend to buy a Switch 2, like they're going to send out invites, so you should register on that site. I just did it like 4 hours late, and now I'm worried that despite me playing many hours and having Nintendo Switch Online, that I'm still fucked.
So if I haven't played a shit ton of Switch lately,
it doesn't matter. Have you
Your
played at least
account.
50 hours of Switch games
Just
on your
total?
account? Total.
oh yeah, for sure.
And
But
are
also,
you
do you
subscribed
have a
to Nintendo
subscription
Switch
to-
Online?
Yeah.
Yes.
What,
And it's
how
just
do
the
you-
just the base one, the $20 a year one. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
is
yeah,
all you
yeah.
needed. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, you should just go ahead and register. The problem is they're not going to send
Pretty
out
did.
invites
Pretty did.
until like May for this. So no one's going to know that they're getting one until after pre-order day. So everyone is still going to have to try to go crazy pre-ordering. It just sucks that if you can't get one on April 9th, you're not going to know until like mid-May that if you're going to get one through Nintendo, and people are going to be losing their fucking minds. The thing is, there is no world where I'm gonna like pay any sort of like inflated scalper price for a fucking Switch. So if I
course
can't
not.
get one next Wednesday, I'm just not gonna have a fucking Switch 2 at launch. I'm just so pissed that I didn't realize what was happening this morning when people were talking about that. I was there with them talking about it, like, oh, it's cool that Nintendo's doing this. But there had been so much talk about April 9th being when the pre-orders go live for everyone else, that I thought no one was registering yet until like I fucking, spent half the day hanging out with my kids. And then I look at my phone and I'm like,
Those
kill me.
fucking kids.
It makes you feel any better, Brad. Heard Dobojin in chat. It's okay. The economy's going to collapse well before it matters. Anyway.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. You're
There
gonna
was,
like you're not gonna be using money to buy your Switch 2. You're gonna be using sex and fresh water. So
I'm-
stock up now.
Get
And
ready
also-
to
I'm
sell
not
your
giving away my
ass.
fresh water, but
Just
yeah,
start an
But my
OnlyFans, am I right?
Sweet hole.
yeah, my sweet hole is up for grabs.
God damn it. Why does it always come back to this? Okay, let's talk about the games, right? Let's talk about the games.
Well, they only
There-
had two, so
Yeah, they
which
only
one do you
had
want to start
two.
with?
There
Mario
are
Kart World,
21
baby.
games.
Mario Kart World is cool. So I said it before. Mario Kart, at least in my eyes, has always been like some pretty basic. Like it's been popular, but like I feel like no one really started respecting Mario Kart until like this last one, Deluxe or whatever. Where like I feel like there's been a little extra
For the DS.
cachet put on the series. Well, no, it's always been liked and it's always sold incredibly well, right? And it's
Double
always
Dash.
that one that we played with our homies for all these years. But it was always the kind like, oh, that's the fun one. But like when I'm giving out Game of the Year awards, it's to like Zelda,
It's never
and
Mario Kart.
Mario and Metroid. It's not. It always sold well, but it's not the
the
one
fun
we
side
really.
show.
Yeah, it's the side show that we do when like people come over, right?
It's no
But
Diddy Kong Racing.
I
I mean,
Well,
what is?
it's funny you say that, but like the truth is, I think part of that is that I feel like the series has like been so iterative, and like as a single player game, even up to like the most recent one, it's like dog shit. Like this is the game you play online or like shitty split screen with your homies, or you're not gonna have a good time because it's just like they're just single player races, like going from cup to cup,
They're
and it's
basic as shit.
it's basic,
you're-
and it's the same one in all of them. And they've done a little bit here and there with battle mode, but honestly, it's a series that almost never evolved. And this seems like a final, like a real evolution of Mario Kart. And I think it's going to catapult it into the respect part of
Yeah. I think this
the
looks like.
Nintendo's main lineup. Like
I think this is gonna pop off. Like
oh
like
yeah. Like we
Mario
already know
Kart
it's going to sell
World-
like crazy, but I'm saying this is going to be like a mid 90s score
Yeah.
in game now for the first time
Yeah.
ever, I think.
No,
And
yeah,
it's
I
scary.
totally
It's scary.
agree.
Like for Fantasy Critic, it's scary because Ed has this right.
He does. I didn't realize it was Ed until you
I
mentioned that.
can't believe no one had Donkey Kong. I was so fucking convinced.
There he is. He's saying it out loud again. Okay.
It's have public bidding, Nick. If
I know,
anyone
but-
like doesn't notice that Donkey Kong has been bid on Thursday, they might as well just hand in their Fantasy Critic card. Okay, they're not trying.
I mean, I haven't been trying for weeks, so.
I mean, sure, but
I'm
you
trying
know,
to get back on the horse. Okay, I'm trying to get
it's
back on the
also
horse.
like the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. Anybody who played, like, it was one of the biggest days of the year for anyone playing Fantasy Critic. So,
Right.
Yeah.
You
you know what wasn't there, Nick? Oh, so Mario Kart. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about Mario Kart until maybe this one. Hopefully,
it's
it is
Forza
fun.
Horizon meets Mario Kart.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
open
Forza
world,
Burnout Paradise.
open world Mario Kart. And you know what? Like I think about, because I wasn't kidding. I do have a fondness for Diddy Kong Racing, and I always have. And I'm not saying this is anything like that necessarily, but it does kind of feel that way, and but obviously on a much bigger scale, because like I always loved like driving around kind of that like hub area to get to all the different races in Diddy Kong.
So fucking minor. I mean, that's so long
I mean,
ago.
it's
Crash Team
so
Racing
long ago.
did it too. I mean,
I know, but I love that shit. And I feel like
the
Mario
boss
Kart has never done that.
races.
And
You're
now
right,
they're
they
doing
haven't,
it.
but like this is a much bigger step than that.
Oh, I
shit.
know. That's what it's huge step, and I think
is
this
huge.
is it's exciting.
Free
I mean,
roam
like,
mode, man. Like if they're have cool hidden shit in that world,
secrets.
like Burnout Paradise. I famously, not famously, like there's two kinds of Burnout fans: real Burnout fans, and then the people who like Burnout Paradise. And the truth is, like Burnout, like Burnout Takedown is like a real Burnout game. Burnout Revenge is kind of a real Burnout game. Burnout Paradise, like
It's for basic
I
bitches.
get people really got into it because
Motherfucker.
I don't know, like getting all the billboards and shit was kind of fun and addictive. Driving around with friends is kind of fun and addictive, but like doing the actual races in Burnout Paradise was kind of fucked. You know, where they had like the little street signs that would appear when you're supposed to fucking turn, and like everyone would just be crashing and missing turns. Like famously in Burnout Paradise, it was all about missing your fucking turn. And then, you know, because it wasn't like Forza Horizon where you could just go off road to get back on track. You missed a turn, you're like, I guess I gotta reset this stupid fucking race. Like, it was annoying. And they took out the good crash mode for this stupid thing where you just roll around a little bit. It sucked ass.
Right,
Right?
now we're just ranting about Paradise.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's ranting about Paradise. Fuck you, Brad. Burnout Paradise is a great
I don't think
game.
he's saying Paradise is a bad game. He's just saying it's not the same. It's not the
You're just not a real one unless like Takedown or is your favorite or Revenge.
He's just
maybe.
calling you a basic bitch. That's all.
I like.
All I'm saying is I hope it's not
Three,
like
I
Burnout
got-
Paradise, and I hope it's more like Forza Horizon. But Forza Horizon, people
I
love
fucking
it.
own
so.
Dominator, you son
Isn't
of a
that
bitch.
crazy?
Okay.
An
Dominator?
Italian.
You
Yeah.
own Dominator?
Yeah.
Do you even know what Dominator is?
Yeah, the
What is
PS2
Dominator?
wannabe port of Revenge.
Okay. So you have played a good Burnout game.
So Mario Kart and Forza are both Italian racing
Whoa.
franchises. So they're
Forza
like
or
direct.
pizza?
Forza.
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 Mario. I need.
Mario.
I'm not going
and
to
Forza.
survive in the video game landscape
Uh-oh. Chris
unless
Davis
I can
has-
roll
has
my
left-
R's.
Chris Davis has
Forza.
left his chair to go fetch his copy of Burnout Dominator.
Forza.
Burnout Dominator is just like a shitty port of-
Mario.
It's not even. I don't.
Listen,
Luigi.
motherfucker. Okay.
His whole Burnout collection.
Revenge. Paradise. 3. Dominator. Look, I fucking love Burnout. Don't disparage Paradise just because it has one bad thing to it.
calls it
I
BO,
listed
like
like
a real
at
fan.
least 4 bad things.
No, there's only one bad thing to Paradise, and it's the crash mode.
Only one.
BO Paradise.
There was like there's like 4 places you could start a race in Burnout Paradise, and they all ended up in the same other 4 fucking places.
Damn.
Man, fuck Burnout Paradise. That's some cool
Piece of
DLC
shit.
though.
You go to hell,
That's
Brad.
some cool DLC.
I think that's the name of our show tonight. The fuck Burnout Paradise.
Forza.
I
All right.
honestly, yeah, this new Mario Kart does look a little Burnout Paradise in the way like the races are.
How come Mario Kart's
Those
never
aren't
done like
receipts.
a...
Showing that he owns games are not receipts. This dude buys video games all the time.
Motherfucker.
I'm saying
hate you
I got.
so much.
You want me to pull games off my shelf that I've never fucking played? I can do that.
Mario Kart should do a...
We all could do that. Let's be real.
Ferrari collab.
You didn't
That
tell
I
me
have it.
anything. You should be quoting
Thank you so
DJ
much.
Atomica. You know, if he was a real whatever. What are we talking about? DK, Donkey Kong,
Oh, yeah.
Kirby Air Ride. That's
You don't even know the
61?
lyrics of the song, Brad, because you're not a Donkey Kong fan.
Well, I
You're
certainly
a
wasn't a Donkey Kong
Fairweather
64 fan because
You're a
Donkey
poser.
Kong 64 sucks ass.
All right,
And the people-
tourist. All right,
No,
tourist.
no.
All right,
Donkey Kong
tourist.
64 sucks. And
doesn't.
honestly,
It's sick.
side-scrolling Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong Country games, I think the only truly goated Donkey Kong game is Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy.
Shut the fuck
And that's my
up.
honest
Shut the
opinion.
fuck up.
I think classic like
wrong.
you
arcade
have
Donkey
no
Kong
nostalgia
was
for Donkey Kong
overrated.
Country.
I don't.
You're full of shit.
So like some of the tracks, right? You know, like I don't want to play
Donkey Konga
Returns and Tropical Freeze are overrated. I think we've talked about them. I think they're overrated or overglazed. You know,
What a fucking
like,
tourist.
the levels are too
Overglazed.
long. You're stopping
What
every
a
2 seconds to
tourist.
collect bananas.
Why does the
bad
word
person.
overglazed
You're a
just gross
gorilla,
me out?
Brad. That's the whole point. Is the bananas.
Yeah, I don't like platformers where collecting is the focus. I play Mario games and like fuck the coins most
Half
of
of
the
He
time.
famously
platformers are
hit a ukulele.
collectathons.
No, Donkey Kong 64 was a rancid ass collectathon, and that's what
Oh, it
made
100%
bad, dude.
was, yes.
No,
From the
but like the best
creators of
platformers are not just
Banjo-Kazooie?
collectathons. If you want to play a fucking Yoshi game or a Kirby game, you go ahead. But I'm looking for some challenging, some good platforming, getting to the end of the stage.
Some
maybe
Banjo
finding
Kazooie up
some
in this
good.
bitch.
Explain to me
I mean,
how Mario
Banjo-Kazooie
Odyssey is not a
had lots of
collectathon.
collecting, but a lot of the shit that was littered all over
it was, like,
Banjo-Kazooie
hidden.
levels,
It was like hidden
a
shit.
lot of the stuff that was littered all over Banjo-Kazooie levels was just like ammo and like it wasn't actual stuff that you were collecting to beat the stage or anything. What are we talking about?
We're supposed to
new
be talking
Donkey
about
Kong-
Donkey Kong is.
Bonanza.
All this was my intro to say we're finally gonna get a good Donkey Kong game
Boo!
because this
Kill
one looks
man.
really good.
Shoot this
one
guy.
This one looks really good, dude.
gonna mute his mic.
It looks like Mario Odyssey with Geomod. It looks. I was watching this thinking it reminded me of like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is
That's
sick as
wild.
fuck. by
That's
the
a
way.
wild.
No, dude, Donkey
I know.
Kong is a force of nature, literally. And the
Hulk.
Geomod stuff from like Red Faction, this shit looks sick.
Your references are Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, and
Red,
Red
Faction?
Faction Gorilla.
Yeah.
I mean, those are
What the
pretty.
fuck is wrong with that?
Fucking,
Also-
let's get you to
also-
bed, old man. It's almost
I
10
will-
o'clock at night.
I will say, Donkey Kong's like ability to like fuck up that like it seems like it would have been like 2 levels in Astrobot. Like you would get like the gorilla arms suit, and you'd like it'd be like some sick ass memorable level for like 2 levels, and then they would move on to some new power. I don't know if Astrobot like raised the bar, but like
Oh, I think it did.
like the cool visual effects of like him punching up a stage were neat, but like we saw so much like cool visual stuff like that in Astrobot that it does kind of like mute it a little, like water it down a little bit. But whatever. I don't want to be negative. I think this Donkey Kong game looks amazing, honestly, and I want
It
to
looks.
I want to play.
It's coming out. It's coming out in the release window. It's a July game, right? It's July.
July
Isn't it
17th,
July?
I think it said.
July.
I heard
Yeah,
they're even
so
getting.
within the
It's like a month
uh,
after.
I heard they're getting Seth Rogen to do the voice acting.
And I will say, I know it's going to be a popular bid on Fantasy Critic. I think this thing, that narrative-wise, just
Dang
like from
again.
what I've seen, where people are at with Donkey Kong and their nostalgia for Donkey Kong, and if it's true, if we hear that like Nintendo, EAD, like if it's the Mario Odyssey team making this thing is primed to hit like mid-90s. If it really is this fucking as good as it looks, I think it's going to be up there. It's going to be the
I thought you
highest
guys
scoring
hated
Donkey Kong game
Odyssey.
ever.
I mean, I agree it's gonna
Nobody
score.
hated it.
No.
I thought you
No
guys
one
hated
hates Odyssey.
I definitely don't hate Odyssey. It's just
No
not my
one-
favorite.
It did make my
It-
top 10 list in 2017, but 2017 was a crazy year.
That is same here.
Okay, it's no Mario.
It's no Mario Galaxy. It's no
Galaxy is no
Mario.
Mario.
Mario
64.
World.
I mean, look, Odyssey's a little overglazed.
There it is again, overglazed. All I can think about is, never mind. Just
Glazed with the
Glazed
cum of
donuts?
Nolan and Crispy.
Rusty Brown's ring donuts.
I love to
It was
lick
fine.
lovingly around the outside
Look,
and then thrust my tongue
Mario
in the middle.
Odyssey, it's a delightful game. It's a delightful game. But we got like real
That's
games
gotta
that
be
year.
in
We
GTA
got real
6,
games in 2017, like Breath of the Wild, Yakuza 0, Hollow Knight, fucking Divinity Original Sin, okay? Like there was a reason Mario Odyssey didn't make my top 10 list, okay? Prey came out in 2017. Come on. Real video games.
Prey was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Mario
Shout out to
Odyssey's good. Okay, Mario Odyssey's fine. So, but there's no 3D Mario here. That's the big thing, right?
That's my big question. Do you think
And
if this
there
is
is
if
a
this is the
Donkey Kong.
Odyssey team, what do you think this means for Mario, if
What do you
anything?
mean? They're just gonna wait a couple of years and put out a sick ass Mario game. That's all it means.
It's been so long since Odyssey. Though.
No, but it has. But you're right. It's been a long time since Odyssey. But
Like this, as cool as this looks, I kind of want Mario more.
No, you're right. It's been a long time since Odyssey. But they also did like Bowser's Fury, which is like a pretty sick ass Mario game. Even
It
if
is
it
a
wasn't,
sick ass Mario game. Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was like maybe smaller than your typical. It was smaller than Odyssey.
It was an
I
experiment.
remember saying when I played Bowser's Fury that I hope and pray that the next like huge Mario game is like building on these blocks, like building off of Bowser's Fury.
Odyssey, yeah, Bowser's Fury, and we might see some of that stuff in Donkey Kong. Honestly,
Yeah.
Also, we had Mario Wonder. Speaking of overglazed, Mario Wonder came out a couple years ago, so it's like Mario's around. He's also in like the movie theater. Like Mario's gonna be fine. Let Donkey Kong shine.
I'm not worried about Mario. I'm just having a purely selfish desire to play a new 3D Mario game.
Honestly, I hope Mario's in the game, and I hope Donkey Kong beats the shit out of him. Because he's like a rabid fucking ape. He's crazy. He's beating the shit out of everything. And like, they're rivals, famously rivals.
The world could use a little 3D Mario joy. You know what I mean?
Dude, we're getting that, but with a cooler character.
You could have a whole
You
plot
think,
line.
you think Donkey Kong is a cooler character than Mario?
Mario is not cool. He's not cool.
I could have.
He's in Mario's in amazing video games. Mario, whatever his fucking name is not cool.
Whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you liked video games, Brad. What the fuck?
I like video games. I like Mario's video games. I don't like Mario the person. I have separated myself, separation of
what?
Author and level design, whatever. What is this crazy? Mario is cool? Like the character?
I really think
have
it's
Samus statues and shit. I don't have this Mario
He goes,
figurine.
wahoo!
Yeah. You get like a plush from like your aunt on Christmas, and that's why you have
He's
a
a
Mario.
fun little
No one,
guy.
like,
What's wrong with that?
no one's buying the fucking Mario.
He's a working
fucking
class hero.
Figma.
You're being a fucking dick right now.
Show me your fucking
He's a
Mario
plumber.
Figmas, please.
He's a fucking. Oh, I don't have any Figmas because I'm a fucking adult with bills, Brad.
Well, sure. I mean, we are talking about children's games here, but I'm saying if you were to buy one, it's not going to be Mario.
Yeah.
It's going to be some hot lady or someone actually cool.
Link. Or
Touche.
Zelda.
Link. I got a Link Figma. Link's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of cool. He's cooler than Mario. He has got a fucking sword.
Okay, Link is
that
cooler than
is-
Mario. No one's saying that, but
That's definitive. Yes.
but come
that
on,
is-
Mario is like the working class. He's a fucking plumber from Brooklyn who saves the world. Come on.
Yeah.
What's not
Also,
to like? Have a little class solidarity, Brad.
Also,
Is he
I
really
have
from Brooklyn?
the Link Between Worlds
I don't know.
Link Figma,
Yeah.
which was the concept art was based on like the instruction booklet from the original Zelda, and he's like cool as shit. That's a badass Figma.
Link between.
All right. What are we talking about? What else is there to say? Oh, first of all,
How
I will
about-
say this: we did spend about 30 minutes talking about all these trailers before the recording, so maybe go back and check out Trailer Talk in the
that
archive.
is cool.
But Chris Davis, you said you were going to bring something up.
Well, I was going to bring several things up, but why don't we just get out of the way? Legally distinct Bloodborne 2.
Oh God, that is the biggest.
So I was hoping it was legally distinct Bloodborne 2, right? So we start
legally distinct Bloodborne.
Well,
2.
we start watching this, and I'm like, well, this kind of looks like Bloodborne, but not really. And so I thought they were pulling a Demon Souls to Dark Souls situation where they wanted to make Bloodborne 2, but they're tired of working with Sony, right? Which is what happened with Dark Souls, Demon Souls, I mean. So I thought this was going to be like, Dark Blood or what, I thought it was going to be Bloodborne with another
My brain
name.
was going back and forth between, is this Bloodborne 2 or did From Software finally make a Castlevania game? Because like it was starting to look, either way, it looked like it was gothic horror, which
If Bloodborne makes a Castlevania game, I would lose my fucking mind. This did
I know.
not
I
look like
thought I was gonna have to check on you, Brad. I was like, oh my god,
No,
Brad's
no,
dream
no.
is coming true. It's
If
happening.
it was, I would have been popping off. The thing is, I also would. This thing is Switch only. Also, it's a fucking multiplayer only game.
Okay, that is the lead that they buried, because nowhere in that trailer does it say the Duskbloods, which is the name of this game, by the way, is it's an 8-player PvE or
PvPvE.
PvPvE multiplayer game from Software, exclusive to the Switch 2, which, not that that's necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but it feels gross.
It is
that
a
they
bad
didn't
thing.
say it in. I mean, it is like, it's obviously not what we wanted, but the fact that we
That's
had
the
to
thing,
find out about
Take
it,
it.
we had to find out about
He
that.
will take it. He will take it.
I'll take
All
it.
right, and that's fine. I'm just saying
I'll
the fact
play
that
that
we had to
game with my friends, I guess. Like
The fact that we had to discover this is a multiplayer game from the press release after the fucking conference or presentation,
because they don't want people to know.
Because they obviously are like, well, obviously don't say that out loud.
Hey, Dick!
Okay. Hang on. First of all, the fact that we're getting Night Rain undercuts this also. From Software's already doing a multiplayer
FromSoft
game.
They're
And now we're getting another one. What the fuck?
Aren't they like owned by Tencent or something?
I mean, I ain't been on this shit.
It's also confirmed.
Nintendo went to From Software, obviously, and said, hey, we're going to give you a lot of money to make a exclusive title for our system. And the conversation could have stopped right there, and we could have all been living the dream. It could have been a new IP.
Shit as mouse mode, dude. Fucking Miyazaki was playing fucking Tarkov when COVID hit, man.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
Oh.
Miyazaki has been confirmed to be directing this game.
Okay, so FromSoft's primarily owned by Katakawa Corporation with a minority stake
Sony's in the process
held
of buying.
by Tencent subsidiary Six Joy Hong Kong and Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Yeah.
Sony owns a minority stake in FromSoft.
Yeah, there's been some talk that Sony's trying to, I think, buy all of it or whatever, but we'll see.
I think it's fair to say that all of us watched the same trailer and all of us had the same reaction, right? Before we knew it was a multiplayer game, right? And I think all of us would have been
the jetpack.
Yeah, there was a fucking jetpack. Like, all of us were like, we are on board. This looks amazing. I can't fucking wait. This is the game changer for this presentation. And then we found out the truth, and then it was just Crispy who was excited.
Dude,
Mike can't even pick it up.
Right? Like everyone's sad today, right? There's sad people, and then there's the people like gaslighting themselves, and then there's Crispy.
Oh, fuck off!
and then there's Crispy.
Like, I don't care. There are people who love multiplayer in these Souls games, right? But like no one. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where like some people only play the multiplayer. They don't give a shit about like
Isn't
fucking
that Jaeger.
Well, no. He loves. That's the thing. Everyone who loves Souls games loves the core Souls game experience. Sure. It's not like, oh, I don't care about these bosses. Who gives a shit? I just want to gank some fools. Like, no, that's no one. That's no one.
This is like if they released Night Rain, but Elden Ring had never come before it.
Oh, or like any FromSoft game.
Well, right, but I'm just saying, like, Night Rain is like, okay, that looks cool. It's not really for me, but like, we have Elden Ring, and that's fucking amazing. But like
I think here's a better analogy. There are some people who play Call of Duty who never ever touch those campaigns. They just have never cared. 100%. They don't care.
Halo.
They're multiplayer games to them, right? But like those people don't exist for Souls games. They don't. There are people who really get into the multiplayer, and there are people who don't. But everyone loves Souls games.
To which the higher ups at From Software would be like, yet. and it's like, shut the fuck up, stop it, just
or
fucking
like
stop it.
with yeah, I don't know. The problem is, like, if this came out like 2 years from now after we played Night Rain and thought Night Rain was sick, we might be more on board for this. But we're already like worried about Night Rain. Is that even going to be good? And now we're getting 2 of them. You know, it's weird. It's weird.
It's very weird. Yes.
Or do this after Bloodborne 2 comes out, you know, or Darkborn or whatever the fuck this is. What is this called? Dustborn?
Duskblood.
Duskblood. You should have
No,
called it Dark
Dusk
Blood.
No,
the
the
Duskbloods.
That's how you
Plural.
know it's a multiplayer, because it's called
Yeah,
the
gross,
Dusk Bloods
gross.
with an S.
Gross.
If it was
But
just
hey,
called Duskblood, it would have been
You
like
guys are
fucking sick.
weak. You guys are weak, okay?
No,
That's
sometimes you're right, and we're just fucking with you, Crispy. This situation.
This is not one of those times.
This is
You
not
have
one
a
of those times.
weakness.
You're
In your
wrong.
veins, your blood is watered down.
But hey,
We don't even know if it's good. It
Yeah,
could
that's
be bad.
It's at FromSoft. That's how I know
there
it's
is
good,
some
okay?
there's some promise. There is a
They make
wonderful
cookies and
little
cream.
cameo by Yoko Taro in there. So like there's
Dude,
got to be
yeah,
some hope. for
what
it.
is up with that? The moon? That looks so Yoko Taro.
It
Yeah.
looks very
Got
Majora's
some
Mask.
real boss baby vibes.
I don't know. Like if they finally announced a new Nier game, well, actually this has been happening. Like if they announced that the new Nier game is just some multiplayer game, you'd be like, oh yeah, who needs Yoko Taro, right? Like you'd be like on board. I just want to gang some fools. No.
Dude, the steampunk rocket man though.
Yeah,
Steampunk
I-
The Onion Knight with a
tragic.
jetpack. It's Onion
dude.
Knight with a jetpack.
Yeah, look, I was vibing with that dude when he was just kind of, even before he had the jetpack and he was just like strolling up all slowly, and I was like, yeah, dude, this is like that homie from Return to Oz. I love that guy. And then he like started jetpacking, man. Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
you guys, it's just
But then I
like,
found out it's a game I'm never gonna play, so I don't care anymore. Next topic.
Okay. All right. What, Chris Davis? Is there anything else specifically you wanted us to
won't even give
acknowledge before we?
damn chance.
Well, other
move
than
on.
4 seconds of Hollow Knight Silk Song showing up,
Oh God, the audacity!
the
The
audacity.
audacity!
But it was in a sizzle reel.
Yes,
It was in
Yeah.
a sizzle reel.
With the
And it had a
with the year-
2025 date. That's significant.
Sizzling.
and I'm not even certain that's actually new footage. I think that might be recycled.
It's concerning.
What is wrong with you? Let the meme go, Chris Davis.
No.
The game is, and I'm not just talking to you. It's fucking everyone. I get it. It was funny. Silk Song's never coming out. Like literally
saying that
countered
as someone
in
who-
40% of leagues. Like you guys are idiots. Stop it.
Hey, it
This
was
is a
my-
real video game. It was always coming out. We all had a good laugh.
It
The
was
ga-
playable in
Do
2019.
y'all
Yes,
not
I
want
know.
the
It's
game
not a
to come
meme to
out?
me that it's coming out.
Yeah. So like, let's be happy.
I'm happy that it's
It's been
coming.
a long.
I'm
I'm not
glad to
happy
see that it
because
still
I didn't
exists.
grasp it.
It's literally gonna be better than all of this trash. this
Okay, but
year.
we
it's
can't
gonna be
also
game of the year.
get we can't also get fucking GTA 6 this year too, right? Like
No, I think we can. I think we can.
Yeah,
No, we
that
can't.
that
I know
that-
you're
that'll
especially
happen.
sweating that one, but I'm
I'm not sweating shit, Brad, okay?
All right.
He
sure.
just doesn't
Alright.
want to be burned by Mortal Kombat 12
No,
again.
I will say, I'm just glad that with Silk Song coming out, it doesn't have to be another stupid fucking year where a Haze Light game wins Game of the Year. Thank God. If Split Fiction won Game of the Year awards, I would quit this podcast.
Why do you hate
It's
Split
a trifle.
Fiction?
It's that game is ridiculous. It is for children. And
Wait,
it is,
wait! You're like totally like, what happened? What happened to you?
What Split Fiction?
Yeah.
It's
What are you
just
talking
bullshit.
about?
Like that game is fun, and like it is not. It is not. You know how we were talking about like good video games that we respect, and then games we play when like people come over. Like
I
this
don't.
is not. This should not be winning awards. Okay, you know.
I think
This is not. This is. It's like it's like, oh, there's 10 nominees for Best Picture, so I guess we can put in Split Fiction, I guess now, you know. But like
This
It
just
Takes
feels-
Two won the most Game of the Year awards that year when
I
they
think it
pulled
deserved it.
like 500 outlets.
I think it deserved it. For It Takes Two
You're out
specifically,
of
I think
your
it deserved it.
fucking mind.
Dude, It Takes Two is fucking incredible.
You didn't give it your game of the year, and
No, but
good
it was
on
also-
you, because I would have insulted you if you did.
So what
You
you
were going
think
to
my
insult
game of
him
the year is?
anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
true, very true.
But like,
also,
this
like
one I
my-
would have meant.
How often does my game of the year line up with the most common game of the year? It's
No, but
not.
you're at least picking like respectable things.
Wait, It
right?
Takes Two is very respectable. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. It's bullshit. It's like
No.
silly bullshit.
Brad, I refuse to believe this is because this is not the
How
tune you
far
were
are you in
singing.
Split Fiction?
Dude, I'm not even talking about Split Fiction anymore. I'm talking about It Takes Two.
It's
Because
fine.
whatever, I have not finished Split Fiction before yet, but like, It Takes Two is genuinely incredible. Like a game
I think
changer,
incredible is
and
the
you
wrong
were
word.
very positive about it when we were talking about it, and
You're
now you're
right.
like,
And I'm positive. I'm like a tomato on Split Fiction. But you've seen the tomatoes that are like 72, and you're like, is this really a tomato? And then like the 98 tomatoes.
I don't get the
tomato
tomato
meters.
reference you're making.
Tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's a tomato. Like, it is a recommend, right? I would
Okay.
recommend Split Fiction to people, right?
Look,
But there's a difference between
I just think you're
you
off
know,
on this take because I think
fucking.
I think-
Wonder Woman with the sequel to Wonder Woman was a tomato on Rotten Tomatoes, but there's a difference between that and like there will be whatever. What are we talking about?
What are we talking
I
about?
don't
I'm
know, man. I'm
lost.
just like I'm sorry. I'm just taken aback. I'm just taken aback. That's all. Let's move on. Let's fucking.
I'm only taken aback by how much you're defending
Uh-oh.
Split Fiction. That's all.
What? No, I'm at this point again. I don't even care about Split Fiction. It Takes Two. Genuinely one of the best gaming experiences I feel like I've had in the past decade.
I was listening to a podcast today. I think that's what it was. They were shit talking Split Fiction, admitting that it was fun, but they were like, 10 years ago we were playing like Portal 2, and that was like a grown-ups co-op game. This is like bullshit compared to that, and that's true. But we can move on. We can move on. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. Henry loves watching.
Fuck you piece of shit.
I'm being honest. He loves watching. If I told Malia that I never wanted to play this ever again, her answer would be thank God.
Sounds like a.
She's
Never mind.
she's being really kind, I think, when she plays that game with me, because I don't think
Robin
she
and I
likes
are
it.
having a fucking great time.
I
playing
believe
Split
you. I
Fiction.
believe you. And I'm not saying Malia's not having a great time, but look, she's not always right either. Like, I had to really push her on Severance. I finally got her to watch it.
Oh, I just finished season 1 last night.
Season 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally got her to finish watching season 1 with me so we could start season 2.
We
And
just
it was like
finished season
pulling
one.
teeth.
We just rewatched season 1 so we can
Oh, yeah.
watch season 2
You know,
the other
I
night.
think
Like we
it's- I think
finished.
It's pretty good.
pretty typical for what
Also,
people are doing. But
on the note of Severance, if you have not yet, the companion podcast they've been doing has been pretty great as well. Just saying. Anyways, let's move on. Enough about the Switch 2. I think this is going to be a one-segment show, but I do want to let Chris Davis talk about. You have a game, right?
I do.
I don't know how much you want to say about it. Like, how far are you in this game?
I'm 6 hours into it. It's not that
Okay.
far, but enough to get talk about it a little bit.
This motherfucker bought it on Steam. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah. Well,
So
now we always have access to it in case somebody runs out of their game.
now I can
Pass.
play it on my Steam Deck, which is
Yeah.
great.
Heaven
you could have
forbid.
done it
Thank you.
anyways.
But like
Just
without
Adam-
using Moonlight.
But Moonlight is better than installing
I
something.
can't
directly
do
to the
that
Steam
when I'm
Deck.
at work. I can't do that when I'm at work.
So don't play Adamfall when you're at work.
I'm not, bro. What do you think I'm saying? I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows while I'm at work, and that works for.
But that actually runs pretty well on Steam Deck, like you were
Yeah,
saying.
it runs.
There's no way
phenomenally
Adamfall runs that well on a Steam Deck installed
know.
to a Steam Deck.
Probably
Actually,
not.
I'm kind of surprised by this game. It is pretty decently optimized.
But have you tried it on a Steam Deck?
Granted, I don't have a
don't
Steam
think-
Deck, so I can't do that direct comparison.
Exactly.
Steam
But-
Deck is like old hardware. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
it
anyways,
is.
we're talking about Adamfall.
Adamfall.
Which I am
Adamfall. Woo,
genuinely curious about.
Rebellion. Makers of sick games like
Sniper Elite.
the good Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I mean-
okay. No, I'm sorry, they made 2 Alien vs Predator games. One was not good. The original, sick.
Which one did I
But-
play? I played the one on the 360.
You probably played the one on 360, which
You're
that
probably
is
thinking
not
way
the
too
one I'm
much.
saying is sick.
That the bad one? Fuck.
Yeah.
Rebellion has made some sick games though over the
They've
years.
made sick games, they've made some duds, but this one is actually
This is like their legally
Pretty-
distinct Fallout, right? Set
I-
in the UK or
I honestly wouldn't even make
Yes.
the direct Fallout
It's stalkery-
comparisons except in
stalkery
certain
Fallout-y.
circumstances. I mean, it's almost feels a little bit more stalkery than Fallout. Fallout is a game about growing through a sprawling map with a bunch of quests and
Right.
exploring a lot of different hazardous environments without necessarily with like this oppressive, happy-go-lucky charm to it. This is a
Not
more
this.
this is a more serious game, like Stalker 2 or the Stalker series in general. But it's got this
Picking
interesting English 1960s charm to it that has that vague background history of World War II and the Blitz and the just characters with these distinct memories of that war comes up very often. And
It's
them
also
dealing
doesn't it
with
have
this-
like a what do you call it when what do you call it when there's like something that takes place in the past but it has like semi-futuristic elements to it? There's a word for it. There's like this cuz doesn't this like take place in the past but it has like mechs and shit?
I mean, yeah, there are mechs in this. I mean, it's retrofuturism,
but-
you think?
maybe historical fiction is not what I'm thinking of, but whatever.
Retrofuturism.
Carry
maybe?
on.
Whatever.
Maybe yeah,
Uh,
futurism. It has futurism, but it takes place in the past.
Yeah, yeah. So I've only put about 6 hours into it, but so far, it feels very different from Fallout. It doesn't have that like narrative necessary charm of an old school Bethesda game. But the thing I really like about it is the atmosphere they put into this game. There's like this ever-flowing melancholic like threat and the overbearing nature to the nature of the world of this zone. Everything it's a pretty game, but the entire time as you're going through the various maps I've been through, you can see off in the distance the atom plant where this accident has happened and it's started
Isn't it
corrupting
a nuclear
the area.
accident.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl, right? It's like I mean, it's
It's
Chernobyl
more-
adjacent like kind of accident, right? Like
As far as I've been able to compare it to, it's more like Stalker in that regard. There's more mysticism to it, possibly. There's weird shit happening. But
one of the
there's-
things
again,
I have heard is ultimately like the story of this game is actually one of its strong suits. Like I don't know
There's-
if that like carries through all the way to the end of the game, but like I've heard lots of talk about it being a pretty satisfying, unexpectedly satisfying narrative.
so far it's interesting. Like the entire time,
Which is maybe something it has on Stalker too.
I think it has better storytelling than Stalker 2 so far. You play as an amnesiac character who wakes up in a bunker in the zone. You don't know why you're there. You just sit there and you're told to go to the interchange to do something. You don't know why you're there. You're just told to go do that. And the game kind of just drops you out into the world. And like Fallout, like Stalker, there are these bunkers that have, hidden secrets and history of what's gone on in the zone over the past 10 years or so. But you're dropped in there and you can naturally just start exploring. And there's an overall like mystery. One of the mysteries happening is that you come across phone booths out in the world. And
that's a big part of their like
phones haven't
visual
worked.
language, I guess, in this game.
Yeah, in the zone, phones haven't worked for like a decade. But there's some mysterious guy that keeps calling you when you get close to a phone that comments on what you're doing out in the world and gives you cryptic advice on what you should do and what you should expect. Like I run into one in this footage where I've run into an old lady who is this nature healer out in the middle of the woods. And she's got this kind of witch-like charm to her. Like, I know there's some bad shit with her, some way, shape, or form, based on the missions he sends me out on. But I also know that, like, she's kind of a mischievous, benevolent person, because she's also helping out the village by providing them medicine and helping out a certain quest line with a baker whose husband is infected with this disease that's perpetuating throughout the zone. And it's things like that where I run these characters and I'm wary of them, but they draw you in with their kind of mystery to them. And that characterizes a lot of the game. Like, there is a lot of interesting mystery happening. Like, so the village itself is protected by the remnants of the English army that came into the zone and got trapped. And so they are known as the Protocol. They control the village. They control the movement of civilians, and they just maintain order as best they can. And it's run by this old British colonel, the stereotypical British colonel. And he's, how do I put it? He's a bit of a curmudgeon, and everyone just tries to stay out of his way and not push his buttons, or you're just going to get sent to a distant jail where you're certainly going to die. So he kind of rules the village with an iron fist. But he maintains this air of diplomacy about him that makes you think that, oh, maybe there's something to this guy. And the population, not to put too fine a point on this narratively, but the protocol has been slowly shrinking the population of the village down and moving them into the inner buildings of the village, because there is this unnatural, not necessarily a disease, but something happening to the townsfolk that is making them believe that the soil is speaking to them. And so they'll get this disease, they'll start getting blue in the eyes and even blue skin, and they're not Smurfs, but they will disappear out into the woods and become druids. A hostile druidic faction.
Like Rebellion's Rogue Trooper. Remember that game, Rogue Trooper, where you were like a blue guy?
Yeah, that's. I guess that's.
Is this a secret sequel to Rogue Trooper?
Secret sequel.
I know of. But it's
Chris Davis. Is this a stealth game? I just want you to be honest with me. Is this like
as much as Stalkers?
There are stealth elements, and because it is from the Sniper Elite devs, there is an inherent stealth aspect to the game. But
I see you doing a lot of sneaking in this footage.
I do that because, number one, I have a low inventory. You have a small inventory to work with. And the weapons I have are rusted over, and I know they're going to jam. Also, ammo is very scarce in this game. Very fucking scarce.
Okay, so survival seems to be like
100%.
Like, it's built around the idea of like survival.
Like you remember the scarcity of ammo in Metro? Like, it's even worse than that. Like, you are scavenging to find shit.
I struggle with ammo and Stalker.
But you're not necessarily, when you encounter an enemy, a human enemy, you're not necessarily in a combat engagement. Like, they will notice you, and they will start calling out to say, hey, I don't recognize you. You better stay away from here. And if
you talk your way out of situations?
Sometimes you can. There's some level of diplomacy from what I understand, but I think that's more narrative focused.
I do.
I'm talking about organic counters.
Someone called out that survival game. Fuck it, I always forget the name of it. I Am Alive.
Oh yeah.
I Am Alive. You can like point an empty gun at someone, and they
you do that.
Yes. If you point a weapon at an enemy, they will assume they have a level of self-preservation about them. Like, if you start wiping out a squad, like, the survivors will run away, and they'll kind of beg for their lives.
I like that. That was like, I Am Alive is a flawed game, but like things like that are things that are one of those things that kind of like made it stick in my mind for years and years and years afterwards. So I that's one of those things I wish more games would do, but like I almost never see it. So like it's cool to see it pop up in something like this.
It's
you
cool.
say cowards?
Yeah.
Bunch of cowards.
We're finally seeing like some of that coming back though, right? Between this and Cairn coming out, where climbing has stakes again, bringing it back. I Am Alive was the goat. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
But
Now,
that's cool.
Nick, a thing you're really going to like about this game, because I know you're going to play it,
What about
is
me or Crispy?
oh, fuck off, Brad. And Crispy, I don't know about.
Yeah, fuck off, Brad. It's me.
He's right. I wouldn't play this
No,
shit if y'all
you're
paid
not.
me.
There's no way you would. play
I
this.
was going to, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
The thing about this game, besides the fact that there's no fast travel system, everything on the map and your leads that you get, they don't call them quest lines, they call them leads. Everything is organically discovered on the map and by character interaction. You're never going to find necessarily a scenario where you're told exactly where to go for a lead. You're given an idea of a direction to go in.
That's cool and all, but like, well, I guess I was about to say, like, I feel like I've been kind of spoiled by Kingdom Come Deliverance too, but like that, they sometimes point you in specific directions, but like a lot of times you self-discover things, and that's everything kind of unfolds organically. But
well, let me give you an example. So I'm in this map is the woods, and I came
you keep
across,
saying mapped. Are these like large interconnected maps, or is there like is this like an open world where everything's kind of connected?
They're interconnected maps. They're not
okay.
They feel surprisingly big for what they are. But they're separate segments.
Is it like Chernobylite?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Chernobylite, but it's more organic in how you traverse to different areas. In other words, there are exits from maps to go to different maps. So
gotcha.
So as an example of a organic quest line here. So I came across a mansion out in the woods, and inside was this little old lady, clearly with dementia. She was excited to have the scientists from the power plant come over to stay and do their important work and stay here.
He's a witch. She's gonna eat you.
But you look around the house, and clearly it is in disrepair. It's overgrown with weeds, and everything's dusty, and she clearly does not understand what's going on. And she says, I could use your help. My butler, Jinx, he said he was going off to the dam area to get some stuff for her. And so she just tells you that. You don't know where the dam is. You just have to naturally find it. So I find it. Okay. This is it right here in the footage. And I eventually find his body. And I go to his body, and there's a note saying to whom
he's been dead for 20 years.
He's been dead for a while. She, the mistress, she suffers from dementia. She desperately needs medical attention. Please find her and bring aid to her as best you can. And it's things like that, just like you're told about something in the world, and it's a lead you can go explore, but you're not going to be told exactly where it is. Except there are leads that you find that are longitude and latitude coordinates on the map to find things. So the first thing I found in the world was a helicopter crash site, and it had a note in it saying team was dispatched to 20.4 by 76.3. And you go to that location and you find a cache of supplies and the next link in the chain of a place to go. And it feels like that's considerably common.
I wish there were more games that found like a nice middle ground between like the insane obscure difficulty of like treasure maps and Red Dead Redemption and I guess whatever you would call like the most common equivalent of like, here's a cache, go here, find this.
It's directly on the map. Like, just go to this point on the mini map and you'll find it.
Because goddamn, finding the and honestly, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 tries to do the same kind of thing with the treasure maps, and because you can just find random treasure maps like on people's bodies and then like open them up, and like it has like visual like drawings and clues as to where they are. But it's kind of the same shit as like Red Dead, where it's just like, holy fuck, this world's enormous. How the hell am I supposed to find that? And by there's gotta be something.
Not like a bunch of punk asses that didn't grow up with Morrowind.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably. I mean, it's super cool. Like I fucking love the idea. But,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Now, another cool thing I like about this game, and this goes back to the stealth and the enemy AI territoriality that happens.
Mhm.
There's a lot of traps in the game, a lot of tripwires that you got to keep an
Oh,
eye
I saw
out
you.
for.
You walked into a door and got almost like swapped in the face, but
Yeah, no, like
thing.
you run into traps very, very often in this game, but only I think like half of them are actually like meant to hurt you or kill you. The one I ran into earlier was just a sign that pops up all of a sudden, and it says "piss off" to warn you out of somebody's territory. But yeah, you find tripwires all the time with like Molotovs, grenades, and also just like homemade like punji stick impaling shit, like just absolutely atrociously guerrilla war violent shit. This game is really cool, and when it wants to get atmospheric and overbearing and threatening, it does a very good job of that. And combining that with
I am
the
very
fact
much
that
looking forward to playing this. I installed this, but let's be real.
We got real video games to play.
It's not that, Brad. It's just it's just
It
another
looks
big
big.
game. It's just another big game.
it is, yeah.
I do want to play it though, because like I am like the vibes and like the alternate history shit is my jam.
Cool.
Oh, you're
and the
gonna love
atmosphere.
the druids. Then they are a hoot.
A
I'm not
hoot?
gonna say.
Wow, I can't wait to meet them. They're a hoot.
I mean, just like you don't know, man. You just don't know. They're
I'll find out. I'll find out eventually.
find
This
out.
is definitely a game I intend to play.
I
They're-
think they're.
Na-
Granted, I'm only 6
nature-
hours in, but if the narrative is going in the direction I think it is, like they could be one of the most interesting factions in narratives this year. Honestly,
Sweet.
they're trying some interesting things.
Cool. Well, I look forward to playing this myself if I ever finish Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah,
and
which-
or Assassin's Creed Shadows, and or Stalker 2, and or Baldur's Gate 3. And let's be real. Okay. Anybody got anything else they want to throw out here before we wrap it up?
I finished
Before we get
Dragon's
to
Dogma 2.
Crispy's Star
You
Trek.
finished
Oh,
Dragon's Dogma
wait,
or
like-
Dragon's Dogma 2?
Dragon's Dogma 2. I finished
like you
Dragon's
finished,
Dogma
like
2.
you did the.
Yes.
You got the post game and stuff?
I went to the unmoored world. I did the whole save the world from the fog that's coming in because
Let me ask you, in the unmoored world, when you start getting the wake stone, what are the teleport stones?
the fairy stones.
The fairy stones. When you start getting them as drops, like constantly, were you excited? You're like, oh, finally! I struggled so much
This is a
this
trap.
game,
This is a
taking
trap,
ox
Crispy.
parts to
Just
get
dance.
everywhere. You know, these expensive ass fairy stones. Now I'm in the unmoored world where they're just drops, and I'm getting them all the time. This feels so good. This progression of I had to fight to get to this point, and now it's so easy for me to fast travel. Was that a good payoff for you?
Nah, because I just mod them out.
Yeah. Motherfucker. It's cool though, right? Cool game.
I think there's a lot of cool things to it. I still stand by
Asterisk.
some of my complaints from last time.
Asterisk.
I still think the XP balance with the vocations is garbage.
Yeah, sure.
And I
What's your
think
favorite-
they
What's your
still.
favorite vocation?
Oh, Mystic Spear, 100%.
Mystic Spear, or is it?
I don't know. That's the one that was a little too much for me, and it sucks because it was like the one real new class that. Was
That
worth
one was
anything, but
so fucking cool to me. I love the charge. I love the ability to build up a blast that weakens the enemy and kind of stun locks them for a little bit, and then just like the mix of physical and magic combat that you do while you're directly assaulting the enemy. Awesome.
the best move in the
Really liked it.
game was the Warriors lunge where he like impels an enemy and keeps running. That's the best move in the game. Not only is it good to like impale a dude and like fling him off a cliff or into some water, but like you can use that for like mobility when getting around the world. Although you probably have infinite stamina mod.
No,
so you didn't have to worry about sprinting. I know it's a very popular mod.
Shotgun mod.
Infinite stamina outside of battle. No, you didn't have that one.
Let me reiterate. I only had 2 mods. One was infinite fairy stones, and the other was half-weight items. That's it.
Let's not go down this
That's
rabbit
it.
hole again.
That's
Let's not go down this rabbit hole.
Crispy,
It is
Crispy,
time-
what have you been playing? You been playing anything?
I've been playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, me too.
I got my.
Are y'all been
dick-
playing together, or
I
are you
got
still
my
like playing
dick
separately?
picked in this morning.
Do you remember what it feels like? It feels pretty.
It's never felt like that.
Yeah, it's
It
never.
has never felt like that before.
dude.
I had such a hard time. I failed a mission for time.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
never
You gotta
happened to
prep,
me
dude. You
before.
gotta prep. I was
That
like,
has
I
never
need to
fucking
make
happened to me
new
before.
shit because I am not doing enough damage.
Dude,
I need to kill
same.
this thing faster. Yep.
It was insane. Like not like
Literally
it was a nightmare run because everything that could go wrong was happening. Like I was having a hard
ran
time.
out of cool drinks.
I
or
ran out of
whatever.
cool drink, and he kept hanging out in like the hot areas. I ran out of potions. I didn't bring I brought herbs with me because I forgot how you make potions. I forgot you need blue mushrooms, so like
Yep.
I had to spend time looking for blue mushrooms, which
Now
I was only
you just
and then
slinger.
and then as soon as I get blue mushrooms and I'm like making potions again, I forgot there's failure chance for combining items. So like
Yep.
I get 2 blue mushrooms and I'm like, "Oh, thank God I can make 2 more potions." Nope. I get 1 potion out of that.
Oh, that's garbage.
Was crazy.
You can eat 4 combination percentage.
I am no longer I am never gonna recommend that Chris Davis play this game because he's gonna play it and be like, oh, no wonder like I'm thinking about the mods for Monster Hunter Wild and I'm like
It's embarrassing.
yeah, embarrassing. What are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
dude, like the systems and stuff, it's so cool. It's so cool, and I'm glad it exists the way it does. But when I failed that quest this morning, I was upset,
Furious.
like emotionally
Yeah.
upset.
No,
In a
I'm
way
there
that
with you, man.
I was like, I just wasted a fucking
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I got mad at the monster. This happened to me. I upgraded all my shit. I was so prepared. You know what? I'm getting the hammer. Y'all gonna turn me back to the old me. You know, I was like, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker in the face until he can't get up. This is what Monster Hunter used to be.
it was so fucking brutal. And like, I'm in 2-star quests.
It-
Like,
it
it's
did-
not
it
even
did-
like
you're just-
a difficult hunt. Like
That feeling where you're like, I'm running out of shit. I just want to kill him. I just want to kill him. And you're like, I gotta be close. I gotta be close. And then you fucking cart. Oh,
yeah.
when you're at your lowest,
Yeah.
and then you eat
On
shit.
the second
And then
time,
you're
like,
like,
I
oh, at least
walked
if I
away from the
cart,
game.
I get my health back.
I walked
That's
away from the
how you
game
know
for
you're-
like an hour because I was like, I can't look at this right now.
And
I
you
walked
didn't
away
bring
for an
enough
hour and I just
paintballs.
kept thinking about it and I'm like, no. I'm gonna make a different weapon. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna kill him. I went back. I fought him again. I got carted and I was like, I can't believe this game is doing this to me. And I finally killed him and I think there was like 10 minutes left on the clock when I killed him.
Can you are you bringing your paintballs?
Yes, I am. Yes,
okay.
and that was one of the things that fucked me up is because like I didn't bring enough paintballs. I was like, they give me 2 in the fucking mission box. Like, who cares, right? I needed more than 2. I needed more than 2.
Can I tell you something? Especially in hunts where you're like need to take down multiple monsters at once. Usually they're together. Sometimes they're together. Have you fucked with Adept Greatsword yet?
No, I haven't.
Look
I've been
at-
trying
look
to
at-
do Valor.
Yeah, and Valor's cool, but look into Adept Greatsword as well. It's kind of
Which
sick
is
as well.
Adept the one that's like drawing it or like blocking at the last second or
No. Well, some weapons, but Adept is any time you dodge, like you do like a perfect dodge, but instead of like a perfect guard, you'll do a like that super evade. Except with Adept Greatsword, it sends you into a sprint, and you start dragging your greatsword along the ground, and you could do a full charge while you're running towards the monster, and you do a huge like an attack I've never seen the greatsword do. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And when you're fighting like 2 Tetsukabras at once, and you're like, try to hit me because I'm about to fuck both y'all up at the same time. It's sick.
That sounds
It's
so
sick.
sick. Dude, but yeah, I was like that hunt had to happen for me to like really
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
what's
you gotta
going
prep.
on here.
You gotta prep. You need to
And,
make sure your weapons are up to snuff, man. I know you don't want to make that iron weapon +4.
I gotta wear the ugly shit, and I gotta
Yeah.
use a fucking ugly weapon, and it
Yep.
sucks so much.
It was a
But,
different genre back then.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
All
I'm
right.
still willing to do some online stuff with you. The
I am
problem is
too.
title update 1 comes out this week, so we might postpone that a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
So, we're gonna go back
Gotta
to
check out
4
the new
minute.
hunting hub.
We got It's true. It's true.
Why
Get
don't
back
y'all
to the
both
4-minute
delay
hunts.
playing Wilds together and just wait until the update is just experience it both anew, fresh.
That's Friday. Friday is the
Yeah, that's like in
title
2
update
days.
1.
That's coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
As in
just
like
saying.
2 days from now.
I'm just
And-
saying,
and
don't
there's a lot of
experience the
stuff. We-
content separately. Experience it together for the first time.
Title
Oh,
update
we're-
1. It's all post game stuff.
We're gonna have
I'm
so many experiences
yeah.
together, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
So many
happy.
experiences.
I
will
know
absolutely pay.
every secret of this man's body.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Okay. Okay.
Inside and
All
out.
right. Oh my god. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, real quick before we get wrap up the 4-player minute, I think it's worth mentioning that Crispy and I had our second Yakuza stream the other night.
Yakuza. I was a little low energy because my sleep schedule's been weird, so I apologize for that. But
No, it's all good. I just like
think it
having
was
you hang
good.
out and you
Yeah,
know,
it's
hang
very
out and
chill.
talk while
very,
playing. Yeah.
very low stakes.
We're gonna keep those going. I think. I'm gonna keep streaming it. Crispy's always welcome to join me. I'm not gonna hold you to it, Crispy. But whenever
We got it. So like
whenever I'm
you're
live,
kind
you can just pop in there.
You're kind of figuring out the political situation in Injincho. There's the Ijin 3, and we met the Gomi Jewel already, which is the Korean
We talked to a
mafia.
police officer about a guy who's peeing on everything.
Yeah, and a homeless man's trying to find a birthday present for a little boy.
Yeah.
And also
I met the
Bleach Japan.
Sujimon. Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
met
Sujimon. Yeah, the Sujimon sensei, of course, Sujimon. Like, and then, yeah.
Have you found Senbei yet?
No, I am still very, very I'm still rolling around. Like I'm early enough. I'm still rolling around in like I
hasn't
still look
even
like I
let-
fell in the trash. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm
Sachan yet. Like, he's
Yeah, you
about
don't
to.
have the job classes yet, do you?
not yet, but I'm about to.
He just
Well,
he just unlocked Hero for.
Nick,
Yeah.
for Ichiban.
By the way,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Crispy's ever not around, you probably don't know this about me, but I've been playing the Yakuza series since the first one on PlayStation 2.
You can pop
so,
in whenever you want to. I
Okay, I don't know. I'm just like,
It's
Crispy the only fucking Yakuza fan here? I don't
It's
know. Maybe you
literally
just forgot.
we're just literally
you
hanging
know,
out in a Discord call while I
Japanese,
stream.
It's called Ryuga Gotoken. Like,
Ryuga.
Ryuga Gotoken.
Anyways,
Mark
just
Hamill is
saying-
my Majima.
Just saying, it was a fun Monday night stream, playing some Yakuza with Crispy. It was a good time, had by all. I'm enjoying the game immensely, and yeah,
It's a pretty cool game.
It's a pretty cool game.
It's
Pretty cool game. All right, let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. Brad, start us off.
Man,
Final
I had a
thoughts.
good one, but I'm blinking. I had a good one.
It's a miracle.
Damn.
I mean, you could just
I gotta-
yield the
I gotta
floor
resummon
to you could yield the floor to Crispy so he can go over the next few episodes of Star Trek.
I gotta resummon.
I have
it.
watched a few episodes of Star Trek.
No, don't go to Crispy. Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, final thoughts.
Well, Crispy, I'll leave all the Star Trek talk to you because I don't have Lower Decks yet. It's in the mail, so
son
I
of
look
a
forward to
bitch.
playing it.
You son of a fucker. The playing it. What? No. Okay. Go ahead.
My final thought is I'm kind of worried about the Switch too. Besides the fact
What about
that
it?
100% that the tariffs are going to absolutely fuck the system, I think.
Well, as we discussed earlier, I think the price was probably taking into account the pending
No,
in the looming
100%
tariffs.
not. No, there's no
What?
way.
What are you talking about?
This is the base price for. This is the MSRP for the Switch 2. Whatever else happens is on retailers, and retailers.
I mean,
are
but
just
like
gonna,
Brad has a point. Like they announced it. Like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't just be
Oh,
like,
no,
oh,
you
we're kidding. It's
absolutely can't change it.
$550.
They absolutely can change it. Nintendo is the only company I can think of that can take a game from 8 years that's 8 years old and then release it again and increase the price.
Well, no,
And that's
I-
exactly what they're
Everyone does
doing.
that. Literally,
But
everyone
that's
does that.
a lot of companies do that. What I'm
and
saying,
raise the price on it 8 years after release.
there has never been an instance that I can remember where a company came out, announced all the launch details for a piece of hardware, including the price, and then changed their mind before it launches and raised it. Like that's never happened.
No,
The tariffs.
And
you're
The tariffs.
you're misunderstanding me. I'm saying Nintendo's going to have an MSRP of $449, and then retailers are going to mark it up because of fucking tariffs. That's 100% what's going to happen.
I mean, I know. I know.
Scalpers are gonna fucking mark it up.
Look, man,
Oh,
he's been
they
listening to
always
us.
fucking
do,
mark it
but
up for sure.
retailers can get away with this shit too because it's fucking Nintendo and people will buy fucking Nintendo.
Man.
And like we're also giving them carte blanche to do $80 games. Mario Kart World is an $80 game.
Carte
This-
blanche.
Also, just to throw out there, ports of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch 2 are $80 as well.
You
Like,
can do the upgrade pack, which I think it said is what, $10 or something?
it's $20.
$20. Jesus fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
$20 to run the game at 60 frames per second and maybe have a few small enhancements. That's it.
If you're so inclined, but like
Yeah.
I feel like most people are probably not even going to bother, but I could be wrong.
This launch is going to have 21 games for it. Only 2 of them are exclusives, and 2 others, there's 4.5 new games here. There's Mario Kart World, there's the Welcome Tour, there's Fast Fusion,
We don't call that a game.
there's a Rune Factory game, and then there's the new chapters for Deltarune. Like, that's the only new shit. The rest of it is just fucking ports. And
At launch. At launch.
At launch.
Literally
At
every
launch.
game system
Is
launch.
Dustbloods not?
What
a
are you
launch
talking
title?
about?
No,
All
that's
systems
2026.
launch like this. All systems launch like this. What
I
are you
don't know.
talking
It's
about?
just, this is
Also,
nothing
the
compared to
MSRP
2017.
for Mario 64 in 1996 was
Six,
$70.
Yeah, but I don't
Which
think
is
we're
like
feeling the economic strain that we
$1
had
million.
back then.
No, it wasn't.
It was 1,000%.
We were also paying $90 for SNES cartridges. Look, I understand that, but
Our
we
parents
weren't
were
on.
paying $90.
Yeah, our parents were paying that, number one, and number two.
And now
like,
I understand why they were so pissed.
yeah, but also like I don't think they're under the economic strain that we have today, in the environment that we're in. Like, inflation's going
Yeah,
back
that's
up,
the
man.
90s. Like we were doing so good in the 90s. Like
We had just ended the Cold War. We were at an economic surplus. We weren't.
capitalism won, baby. 90s was the victory lap.
I mean, I'm just saying,
And
like,
then 9/11 happened.
this is
Everything
nothing compared to the
changed.
Switch 1 launch, and I
The Switch 1 launch is not normal. Also, hey, bro, what was that on the Switch? Read to me the Switch 1 launch.
I'll pull it up right now.
Because it wasn't Mario Odyssey. That wasn't at launch. That wasn't in the first month or 2 months or 3 months.
And
Well, that
Breath
was
of
the
the Wild
first
was
year,
technically a
wasn't it?
port.
Breath of the Wild was a fucking port. You know, are you saying Metroid Prime 4 is not worth a shit? Because I think
No,
it is.
But we
I'm
also
just
don't have a
talking
date for Metroid
Is
Prime.
this new Donkey Kong game not look
I
sick?
am
Is this
just
not like
talking about the launch. I'm not talking about what happens in July or August or September. I'm just talking about what happens.
Okay, so
June
read
5th.
to me the Nintendo Switch launch lineup, please.
I'm
Switch
pulling
1.
it up right now.
Okay.
You got to give me.
I'm
1
curious.
second.
I'd love to hear it. They didn't even
hurry
have
up,
Red Steel
you're
2.
Cutting into my Star Trek time here. So.
Okay, fuck you.
Okay,
We're actually way ahead of time. You sure?
SEO is fucking me over on trying to locate this information. So,
Mm.
Crispy, why don't you go?
No, I'll go. No, I don't.
Okay,
want
Brad,
Tim
go.
to do Star Trek. I think Crispy should be the last.
We
I
just
think
play him off.
Why? I'm almost done. with
Because he
the
wants
season.
Nick
go.
to fade out on him.
I've only got one
That's
more
what's happening.
season. Well, I got like a season and a quarter to go.
Wait, you want me to go? Brad, you're
Yeah.
really that stumped this week?
I just can't remember what my one thing is. I got it. It was 1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017.
This is not your 4-player minute. I guess you could
Yeah,
use it.
it can be. The Wii U game Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Skylanders Imaginators, Super Bomberman R, I Am Setsuna. I think that was not the launch. Or maybe it was Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, a port, Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment, a port, and Fast RMX.
1-2
The
Switch
fuck is
wasn't
Fast
a launch?
RMX?
So there is a port of a Wii U game and some bullshit.
There was
Switch
also
Eclipse was not bullshit. That was cool.
there was more than that. I remember that.
Snipper Clips was pretty cool.
Snipper Clips was fun. You're mean.
Also, again, to people in chat, we are talking specifically games available at launch, not
the first 3
necessarily
months of the
not the
system.
first 3 months
Launch
after launch.
day?
Launch day.
Launch day.
for
Oh,
the
not
console.
So
the
like
first
later
one.
that year, they got cool shit. They got
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey. They got Xenoblade 2. They got Splatoon 2. But all that came after launch. The
Yeah.
Switch launched in March, and that launch was fucking Zelda. And
Zelda was the one to get. That's what everyone got.
which
and it was a
was a
100-hour
Wii U
Zelda game.
and it was
a
a
port
Wii U game.
of a Wii U game.
I bought
And
that
now-
on
I
Wii
played
U
it on
when
the
came
Wii
out.
U. I did not have a Switch at launch because there wasn't a game worth buying that I couldn't already have on a system I owned. So like launches are like this. They just are.
Most launches do kind of suck.
Yeah.
The,
Wow,
the,
well,
the
there's been
excitement,
some really good
the
ones,
excitement,
though.
the potential of getting a new console on launch day is always exciting, even though you don't necessarily have the games that you truly want to be playing in the moment. With the I mean, to be fair, Breath of the Wild
ARMS
is a pretty
came later.
unique situation.
Mario Kart 8
Uh,
Deluxe, which was a port, came later. Everything that year came later. It was Breath of the Wild
So did I.
and dog shit.
I don't know.
And
I mean,
Snipper Clips was cute.
360 had a really good launch.
360.
Did it though?
But we were literally talking about the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Did it?
But
Did
you-
360 ever?
The
really
comment was
launch, though?
made that launches in general are kind of weak.
They are
just saying.
usually.
I mean, they are
yeah.
kind of. I mean, like my launch night for the 360. Even though I have very fond memories of it, it was
Perfect Dark
literally me
Zero?
playing
That's
King
what we're talking
Kong,
Cameo.
and Cameo, which
yeah,
at
that
the
was like
time-
bullshit.
And then
Or
there was
now-
also-
Dark-
Oh no, that was PlayStation.
Perfect Dark. There was
Yes,
Call of
it
Duty
was.
2. There was Condemned Criminal Origins.
Okay,
Which were
Condemned
available
Criminal
on
Origins was
other
a damn
things.
good launch title. That is true. I will give
Fuck,
you
yes,
that.
it was.
Anyways,
That's
Crispy.
like a hidden gem at the time.
Nah.
It's not like a.
Well, I was gonna talk about
like a
Monster
headliner.
Hunter. I was gonna talk about
Was
Monster
that
Hunter
launch
from the
day?
4Player.
Condemned, by the way. I thought that was
think so. I
like
think
a
it
month
was,
or two
yeah.
later.
I
No,
could be wrong.
November
I thought
22nd. It was launch day.
Yeah, I think I got Cameo, King Kong, and Condemned. All right, Crispy. Go ahead.
I was gonna talk about Monster Hunter for my 4-player minute, but we already covered that, so I guess I'll make up the time with Star Trek. Hey Nick, have you watched any of the episodes on that list I sent you last week?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
He'd rather die. He'd
You
rather
should.
die.
Look,
He'd rather
look,
watch
Ashif-
One Piece.
Ashif96 in chat said, "Hey, I took Chris's advice and watched Measure of a Man, and it was sick." So
Oh, that's a
yeah,
good
I know what
one.
I'm talking about.
Is there like an
but
easy place to watch that? What do I watch that on?
Paramount.
I watch Paramount Plus.
I don't think I have that.
Oh, cool, cute.
Okay.
Uh,
Who does? Dude?
Me
you.
and Nick. The Star Trek
It's
Dexter.
it's
side.
Dexter, baby. I will always
Uh,
have it.
What happened since last time? I watched Chain and Command Part 1 and 2, which is good. Part 2 is the episode where Picard's being tortured by the Cardassians, and he's like,
Kardashians?
The Kardashians.
Oh, you guys make that joke every fucking week.
Did the Kardashians
He's
ruin
like,
it a little bit,
four lights, which is a great episode. But Chain of Command as a 2-part episode is weird because the first episode doesn't have really much to do with the second episode, so it should have just been 2 different episodes. I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. Aquia, whatever. Face of the Enemy. Fucking Counselor Troy wakes up as a Romulan and has to do this whole thing. Whatever. Tapestry is a Q episode. That's the one where Picard dies and Q's like, "I'll take you back in time to when you were at the academy and you can do things differently." It's a really good episode, really fun. Oh no, I was thinking of Birthright Part 1 and 2 that are 2 different episodes that should be separated. Chain of Command makes sense. Whatever. Birthright, Data learns how to dream, and then Worf finds a bunch of Klingons who aren't Klingon enough for him. So he tries to Klingon them up. Starship Mine. Picard's trapped on the Enterprise alone with a bunch of terrorists who are trying to steal a container of trilithium resin so they can make weapons with it.
While the ship
And,
is being cleaned by this death laser that's
yeah,
slowly
there is a
sweeping through
fucking
the...
shot. There's a shot in this episode where like a guy is walking down the corridor. It's dark, and he's looking around, and then they cut to a shot of Picard in the shadows. They do a snap zoom on him while he's like holding a crossbow, and he shoots the guy with a crossbow, and it is unintentionally very, very funny. Lessons. Picard falls in love with a lady, and then she almost dies on a mission, and he's like, I can't be in love with people because I might have to hurt them one day. And then The Chase is the episode where we find out that most of the humanoid races in the galaxy were actually seeded by a progenitor race. So, like, the reason why all Star Trek aliens kind of just look like people with weird shit on their heads is because they are. Because they all share the same basic DNA. Yeah. And the next episode, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm about to, is Frame of Mind. That's the episode where Riker is in a play about being in an insane asylum, but then he like is also like waking up in an insane asylum, and he doesn't know what's real, and he's like fucking losing his fucking mind. It's great. It's great. It's so
All these
good.
fucking spoilers, dude.
It's so fucking good.
Why even
And then it's
watch?
just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more episodes, and then I'm done with season 6, and then it's time for season 7, and then that's it on TNG.
You know, I
That's it. That's
learned...
the wrap.
That's it. That's
I
it,
learned
baby.
something. I realized something interesting the other day, Crispy.
Mm.
The evil lady Klingons, Ursa and Pator, that they're the ones that
Mhm.
are always harassing Worf.
Yeah, the Duras sisters from the
Yeah,
House
the
of
Duras
Duras.
sisters. They're the antagonists, or some of the antagonists in Generations. I didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah, they're the Klingons that are like attacking them in Generations. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that they brought those characters back.
They are recurring characters in TNG. They're like actual
Yeah.
villains. They end up as the villains in Generations, and they get blown the fuck up.
They do.
die.
Spoilers.
It's great. Generations is a weird movie, but I have a soft spot in my heart.
There are some
All
good
right,
parts
let
of
me-
Generations.
I like.
Let me wrap things up with my 4-player minute
Wait,
now. Thank you,
What do
Crispy.
you wait?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah,
Bro, you already had your 4-player minute. I haven't
No, I
gone
didn't.
yet.
What was my 4-player minute?
You said this can be my 4-player minute.
You
No,
were
that was
going over the
Chris-
fucking.
That was Chris Davis's.
Brad, you once again forgot that I have not done my 4-player minute yet. You piece of shit.
I know. No, you're last. You're always last, right? Right?
Yes.
Look, we're ahead of time.
I thought I was going next, but you're apparently gonna take.
I
two
thought
this week.
Crispy was going to talk about title update 1 for Monster Hunter. Just
Oh,
wanna
Title
briefly.
Update 1 is coming, and it's gonna be cool, and I'm gonna play it. Go
So
ahead.
they're gonna have Zoshia, the real final boss of Monster Hunter Wilds. There was only that single low rank hunt that you could not repeat. It's a super sick fight. Hopefully, it's gonna fuck everybody up. I'm excited. We didn't talk about this last week, did we? Arch Tempered Ray Dow is coming as an event hunt, which is gonna be crazy. He's
I think
definitely
you
gonna
did
fuck
talk
people
about
up.
this last week, actually.
There's gonna be a new. Okay, so what I didn't talk about was the thing that the director put out. Like he did a big long thing that about some of the stuff that's coming after title update 1,
Oh.
about some of the stuff that the criticism that he's heard from the game, and kind of how they're planning to like handle stuff going forward. And there was a lot of juicy stuff in there. He talked about balancing, specifically called out the hammer as like, look, we're gonna make this thing hit even harder, you know. Some of the cool stuff he confirmed that layered weapons are coming was a huge ask, because the meta is these Ardian weapons, and some people don't like them, and I get it, because there's so many cool looking weapons, and everyone's tired of using these fucking robot weapons. Whatever,
Yeah,
I
the
get it.
Arcane weapons are kind of ugly.
That's very exciting. Some of them are. Also, there are harder hunts coming. They're doing like the, you know how like right now the 5-star like tempered Gore Magala is like the hardest monster in the game, and it is fucking hard. Me and Crispy streamed some hunts a couple weeks ago, and we got fucked up by this Gore Magala. Real fucked up. And there's an even harder version of him and the other monsters coming, including like a Mizu, who has like the fucking Soul Seeker or whatever, like Mizutsune like abilities. Like it's gonna be a fucking juiced up version of Mizu. That's going to be exciting.
Difficulty scaling in this game is so weird. Like,
It is weird.
it's
But-
so
but-
easy until it's not.
It's so easy until it's not. But I think one of the reasons it has been easy is because the wound system, it's
Yeah.
very easy to proc wounds, and because wounds lead to such huge damage and flinches and like power modes for some weapons that like you just steamroll a monster before they can even really do much. But they're going to be adjusting those thresholds as well, and when they start tweaking like the not only the hit points levels but the thresholds for procking a wound, it's going to be a game changer. This game is going to get a lot harder very quickly, and I'm here for it. Because, like what Crispy was saying about Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, it was different back then. It hit different back then. You would lose hunts and you would punch the ground and you'd be like, fuck you. You would hate a monster. You would have monsters you were afraid of. You would have monsters that you were your sworn fucking enemies because you have memories of bad hunts. I remember the details of these hunts that I've had in GU in a way that just does not happen in Wilds, where you're having like 3-minute hunts and I can barely remember any of it. You know, it's just a punching bag. So I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing along. I'm going to be streaming a lot. I will be doing squad lobbies. That's one thing that was really fucked up when me and Crispy played. We didn't really know how to do multiplayer. Everyone's saying squad lobbies are like
there was so many times where like we were in the same place, we were together, we were in a group. It was like you're in a link, but now you have to be in a environment link because as soon as you walk outside the village, like you both disappear. Like it was fucked.
Squad lobbies are the way to go. They make it so much easier. So we'll be doing some of that. When I am logging on to Monster Hunter Wilds this weekend and afterwards, I'm always going to be doing a squad login. So look for me. I'm ready to fuck some shit up and get fucked up, hopefully.
Ready to fuck.
See you then. Go ahead, Nick.
Down to fuck.
Down to fuck and get fucked.
All
I'll
right,
top and bottom those monsters if you know what I'm saying.
I do, sadly.
Sorry.
I'll just keep mine
Come
short
on, Kandahara.
because you know it is.
Yeah, come on, Nick. Jeez, fucking hurry up.
Sorry.
Hey, you know, I got what I wanted this week. Dexter Original Sin was renewed for season 2, baby! I'm so fucking hype. So fucking I'm so happy. Oh my god, like it's just.
There was a time where you thought Dexter was just going away forever. It was just.
So shout out to I think his name is Minish. I can't remember. He's in our community, but he's been following me. We've been chatting back and forth on Blue Sky. We've been having like he's watching the show for the very first time, and he's like, "I love the show. It's amazing." He's been like giving me updates and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Oh my god, I picked a great time to get into the show." And I was like, "Dude, you're never gonna know the pain of thinking the show ended poorly for 8 years,
Yeah.
and then to have it come back in such a big way." And like, oh my god, I'm
poorly
so
again.
happy.
But then Original Sin comes along. It's even cooler.
I think it depends on who you fucking ask. I thought it ended fine. Now, here's the crazy thing. Lots and lots of like behind the scene shots of Resurrection filming this week. This is fucking. I cannot make heads or tails of what the fuck this new season of Dexter is, and I'm kind of here for it, but I'm also like just so not used to being able to figure this shit out. By just kind of like watching what they're filming and like being like, oh, I think I know who this is, and I think I know what this is kind of hinting at. This is just. I have no fucking clue what the fuck they're doing.
Right?
It's good. It's exciting.
You knew too much. You knew too much.
Yes, like you could usually pick things up, and especially when they're filming like a prequel series, right? You can kind of like pick up on context clues. Like, I think this is what they're doing because I know enough about the character, and like this is, I figured would also be kind of easy to read because it's like, okay, we know what happened at the end of New Blood. He should be like on the run from the law. This should be very much the kind of the story they have to tell. That does not appear to be what they're doing at all. I have no fucking clue what's going on, and I'm here for it, man. I'm having the time of my life, and it starts in like 2.5 months. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's like nuts. It's nuts. And then Original Sin got picked up for a second season. Everybody's very thrilled about that because that turned out to be a huge surprise. Everyone was like, I actually love this. So. My best. I'm living my best life,
brother.
Living my best life.
I know we're wrapping up, but I just read this. Did you know? Chris Davis didn't cover this, right? In Japan, they're selling a version of the Switch 2
Yes,
They're
it's
selling a
Region locked.
Japanese
a
only
region lock
language.
for
No, not region locked.
330. No.
Well, the Japanese version is region locked, but they're selling a version in Japan that's an extra 20,000 yen that has multiple languages. That's insane. So like if you're a Japanese, like if you live in Japan,
But then doesn't that just make it the same as that makes it the same price as international versions?
I don't know actually. I don't know. That might actually be more.
'Cause it was like
20,000 yen. That's like a
20,000.
big fucking price jump.
It is, but the yen is really low compared to the dollar right now.
But you also understand like a lot of these systems that have like multiple language, like
That could
they've
change.
made a version of the Switch with only Japanese. Like there's
That's
a lot
another-
of countries in that region that would like buy
20,000
these systems and they would have like multiple languages. Like the system does not support anything but Japanese, and that's the only one that's the cheaper price.
20,000 yen is about $135.
That's
Or
some
136.
That's a
gatekeeping.
huge difference
So
for the
that
exact
is a
same
huge
hardware.
difference, but that added to the price of the cheaper one makes it the one we're buying.
Oh, is it that much of a difference? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I think so.
That's wild. All right. We're wrapping this show up, guys. Once again, the 1-segment show is just as long as the 2-segment show. What have I done? Anyways, that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess, on this show. It's been fun. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week to talk about more video games. In the meantime, we hope you can join us in Discord at discord.gg/4Player. We usually record these episodes live every Tuesday night. This was, again, a strange week because we wanted to cover the Switch too, so we recorded on a Wednesday. But I think next week we'll kind of be back on our usual night. So
Back on our bullshit.
back on our bullshit. But guys, in the meantime, be safe out there, be good to each other, play video games, and good night. $8:30.
Why is your camera moving on its own? Like it's a fucking
It's
Paranormal
not
Activity movie.
It's not the best stand that I bought.
8:30.
8:30.
I didn't even mention the whole game card bullshit, but I would have spent half an hour talking about that.
We did kind of talk about that
Bullshit.
last week, I thought.
It all
Not,
sucks.
not
already
like
knew
this.
about
It's just-
that.
This is different.
It all sucks. It's just funny when you go hard and on Nintendo, because it's like I don't know. It's just funny. What did Nintendo do to you?
I don't know, Brad. What did
Nintendo killed his wife.
Nintendo killed Zoe?
What did Xbox do to me? Don't get me started.
Yeah,
Don't
we
get me
know
fucking
exactly what Xbox did.
Oh
to
yeah,
Brad.
that's a good point. That's a good
In
point.
fact, it fucked him over several times.
Look,
We
I
see
think
the
I mean I
scars.
hate all these fucking companies. It's-
We see
I
the
was
scars.
I was teaching him read it. Hate.
Big corporations.
Yep.
I was so sick.
Good.
I was so sick of my wife putting YouTube on for like kids stuff, right? I'm like, we got to get away from YouTube, but you can't because even on these like other apps, they just have YouTube stuff. I was trying to find. Do you remember that Minecraft game that it was like a Telltale game, but you could play it on your TV as well because you were just like picking like dialogue choices. Does anybody remember what that was called?
Oh,
The Minecraft
Minecraft story mode.
Minecraft story mode, right?
yeah.
So I'm like, how do I find Minecraft story mode in 2025 on my television? Well, let's do a Roku search. Nope. All YouTube videos of Minecraft story mode Let's Plays. And I'm like, man, I knew on one of these apps is the actual like game or show game that you can play, right? But nope, just got a bunch of YouTube results when I searched Roku. So I'm like, okay, well, I can just start randomly searching apps, but that's not going to work because there's a million apps. So I Googled like, where the fuck is Minecraft story mode? They're like, oh, you can search on Prime. It's on Prime Video, right? Amazon. So I searched Minecraft story mode on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. YouTube videos basically of people playing Minecraft story mode with like silly faces. And I see my 7-year-old son. It's hurting my heart even saying this. And he pointed like that one with the silly face. Like he's telling me which one he wants me to click on. And it's a YouTube or like bait, like silly face thumbnail. and he's telling me that's the one he wants to watch, I get shivers down my spine, and I just shut off the TV and you said, y'all are done with this shit. No more. No more YouTube, no more any of this shit that is even kind of like YouTube. If you want to watch TV, we're
Okay,
going to like
boomer.
boot up Disney Plus and you're going to pick a movie. And it's going to be a fucking movie.
We're gonna
because
watch
this is-
Severance, damn it.
It's horrifying. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
I don't even know what started me on this, but I got so fucking upset. It's horrible. This is what it's. I got so mad because I told my wife, like, you got to stop, and she gets it now. But I'm like, I'm not getting through to her, so I'm gonna tell Henry the truth of it. And I said, these are all people. All of these videos are made by people exploiting children. They only want money. They're taking advantage of the fact that you like Minecraft and all they care about money. And some of them are even abusing children. At one point, I think I called them all pedophiles. Look, here's the thing. I was being a little unfair. I even went into Blippi about how we almost didn't let you watch Blippi because before Blippi, he was one of these shitty YouTubers and like shit in a cup or something, or shit on his friend's chest or some shit like that. Like, and that's why we didn't used to let you watch Blippi. I didn't get into the poop part, but I was kind of telling him.
Is that real?
And then I went into like anti-capitalistic rant about how all these corporations hate him but I let him play a Switch because Nintendo's been around for like 100 years. They used to make like playing cards and stuff, but at least all that stuff has like good parental controls. And if he wants to play a Switch game, he has to, or like he has one on the Switch. If he wants to play a different one, he has to ask me or Malia, like, can I swap my games? And he tells me what game he wants to play, and then we give him the game. That's the only way he plays video games. But television is fucking ruined for young people, and it's gonna ruin the young people. And I realize as I'm saying this, like, oh, am I just being like an old person? No, it's fucked. It's fucked out there.
No, it's the children that are wrong.
But it's not that
YouTube
anymore.
Kids thing, like 10 years ago, was a problem, and people were like, "This is gonna fuck people up."
Yeah,
and like we're starting to see it now. It's not good,
It's bad.
man.
It's bad. Because when we're on an app, Griffin's like, no, that one. I want to watch that one. No, that one. Go down. Go down. Go up. Go up. I'm like,
Bye,
motherfucker,
guys.
I used to watch Ninja Turtles. Fuck you, Nick.
I
Where you
gotta go.
be?
Dude,
Why?
I gotta
go too.
I gotta get up
I gotta
early in
poop.
the morning.
I got poop. We're back. I got poop.
At least poop is real. I got to get up in the morning too.
At least
Probably
poop
before
is
you,
real.
punk. All right, bye.
Damn.
What's up, Chris Davis? Where you got to be?
I mean, I got to be downtown tomorrow, but I don't need to be downtown that fast.
When do you got to be downtown?
By 10.
What? Already uploaded. By 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
You go into an office at 10 o'clock?
I need to
When the
be
fuck
there
do you
by
get
10.
home?
Doesn't mean I need to, I might come earlier. I don't know.
What does that mean?
I have a
You
commute.
start-
It's very long.
Yeah, I know. So but you start work at 10?
I mean, I can start at 10. I've got that flexibility. I don't necessarily need to start
Okay,
at 10.
but like, how long is your work day?
I mean, it's until I get my work done. That's what my team is composed of. We're not hourlies.
But that doesn't matter. That doesn't fucking matter. There's all kinds of people who aren't paid by the hour who are still expected to be at a job for a reasonable amount of time. So my question is, when are you getting off work?
I don't know. I'll probably head home around 4 o'clock.
So you work from 10 to 4? Is that every day?
If I'm in the office, yeah.
But you're usually work from home.
3 days a week.
Um,
And I come in as needed. But we're a team that doesn't necessarily need to be in the office.
if you wait, Zero Skies, why are you saying this is like an old person way of thinking about a job, Zero Skies? That's not true. There's plenty of jobs where a company expects you to be around during the day.
Yeah.
It's not an old way of thinking about it. What are you talking about? It's not like all young people are working jobs whenever the fuck they feel like it. I work with young people too.
I mean, I have good managers who are conscious of the fact that, you need to have a healthy, work,
Zero skies,
separation.
Zero skies. There's not two kinds of jobs. A job where you sit in a chair and do nothing, and a job where you go into work whenever you feel like it. Now I'm wondering what Zero Skies does. Like, I get it. There are jobs where, like, you make money doing a thing that doesn't require you needing to be in a place constantly. I get it.
Yeah.
But you provide, like, I mean, we don't have to get into the details of what you do, but, like, maybe I don't know what you do. You are providing, like, not a service, but, they are paying you to be available, right?
Yeah, and I'm doing work, but I don't do a service anymore. I moved on from that 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
I
Then
do
that's not what I
professional
meant.
analysis
But
work.
like you have to be, like, available, right? But all I'm
Yeah.
saying is I get there's jobs like this, but, like, that is not like a old-fashioned way of doing jobs. A very large majority of jobs in this country are still jobs, like, if it's in an office, are still jobs where people expect you to be in a place.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? I guess Zero Skies is what I'm not understanding. You, Chris Davis, whatever, you're fine. But I guess I don't know what you do now.
I mean, we can talk about it off the feed when we're not live.
Can you give me like a very generic?
Professional technical analysis.
Professional technical analysis. Okay, like an analyst of sorts.
Yes.
Okay.
If I cut the feed, I can tell you what my
Okay.
situation is.
Okay. His situation.
Okay.
Well, I gotta